Hey, this is Ron Douglas. I just wanted to shoot this quick video to give you a preview of what you're about to see. We had Kane Minkus on. He's one of the top AI and business mentors in the entire industry, world renowned, and it was an amazing experience to have him on with us and an honor to have him on with us because he really shared the nitty gritty of how to use AI. A lot of people talk about AI, and we all know it's a hot trend, and all the big companies and all the smart people are investing in it. But he really broke down how to use it for your business, the tools that he uses for himself and his clients. And he made an amazing opportunity for you guys to join him on a 12-week sprint that he's going to talk about in this presentation. But it was really good. It's one of our best webinars. I want you to watch this whole thing, take notes. One of our attendees, Mel Nelson, he said he's been on probably hundreds of webinars, and this was the best one he's ever been on. So I'm not just saying that. This is actual feedback from people that were on this presentation. So take a look at it, watch it, block off about an hour of your time. It's going to be worth it, I promise you. And get involved. Get involved with what he's talking about. He made a really exceptional offer and opportunity for you guys to get involved that I highly recommend. Is super reasonably priced. And I'll let him talk about it. So I'm going to turn it over to him. Here you go. Enjoy the presentation.
You got it. Thanks. And I appreciate you having me. Ron, just to make sure you can see and hear me okay. Is it?
Yeah. Is you're going to use a screen with like PowerPoints?
Yeah, absolutely. I've got a screen here as well. I look like I never did a webinar before, but I do about 300 plus of these a year. But this is great. I haven't worked on GoToWebinar. We used to use Webinar Jam and GoToWebinar. Oh my gosh, for so many years, it's kind of a throwback to be on the system, but it's a great system. So I'm glad to be here. And
yeah, it's either this or Zoom nowadays, right? I guess there's some other ones too, but I just prefer this one. It's what my audience is used to, so I just stick with it. I'm a dinosaur myself. Been doing this since 2001.
Yeah. Okay. Me too. You're kind of like us, BG, right? Before Google.
Right. Exactly.
Right. Hey, I dropped a chat in the chat window. I want to make sure we're communicating, and this is live, by the way. So I'm actually would love to have lots of great participation. I can't see you because we're not on video, but I see your chat. I got your chat up here on the screen. Can you all just chat me real quick where you're coming from? I'd love to just see and make sure I can see your chats and that we're connected at least through the chat window, so I can ask you questions and I can engage with you. So do me a quick favor and just drop in. I want to make sure I can see all of that. Okay, got it. Yes, okay, got it. Nice. Phoenix, Michigan, Los Angeles, Maryland, Denver, Glasgow. Surprise! Oh, cool. You're right at the corner. I'm actually coming to you right now from Scottsdale, Arizona. Although I spent my last 25 years in Silicon Valley and living around the world. All right, Yaakov from Israel, Canada's in the house, New Jersey, from the UK, awesome, London. Okay, wonderful, good, it all sounds good. Okay, great. I'm glad we're on the same page. So I'm really excited to be sharing with you about artificial intelligence. I've been teaching about transformational technologies and transformational strategies for business owners for almost 20 years, a little bit like Ron. I've been around the block a long time. And so I'm very excited about what's going on right now because I've been teaching about AI technologies actually since 2016 to companies and corporations. And then when everything got released in 2022 to the general public, I started teaching it right away to entrepreneurs and small business owners. Just about everybody you know out there that's teaching it now has come through our courses, our trainings, or has mentored with us on it because we've been helping implement it into businesses. I've taught over 300,000 companies now since 2022 just on AI technology, and I've been training companies, trained about 3 million over the last 20 years. So you're in good hands. What I'm going to show you today is pretty fun, pretty cool, and very up to date because I have 7 researchers that are employed by me that go around the clock researching. We're about to release our AI book, which is talking about how the paradigm and consciousness of the planet is shifting around AI for business and entrepreneurs. And with that, I'm just going to jump right in. In fact, let's do it. So today I'm going to talk about how you can become what we call an AI-assisted entrepreneur. And I use that term AI-assisted very, very particularly. And the reason is because we launched this brand called AI Assisted, I've been almost a year and a half now. And the idea is that we're not looking to delegate off AI. It's not a click of the button. It just does everything for you. Although there are many areas you can do some of that stuff. And I'll show you a lot of fun things today about the things you can do. But what it is, it's about assisting the human. And I want you to write this down. For those of you that are taking notes, it's called human in the loop. And I'm going to be mentioning human in the loop several times, because the question is where do you have to keep your human in the loop, your own human brain in the loop? And so I want you to understand this is about assisting you, and it's about assisting entrepreneurs. And whether you're here to launch or grow or scale a business, it doesn't matter. Everybody on the planet right now can be getting assisted by AI if they understand how to use it. And there's an incredible opportunity right now that's really just, I've never seen more money changing hands in the marketplaces. And I've been around a long time. My wife and I built over 40 companies. We've done over $500 million in our companies over the last 25 years. And so we've never seen the amount of money changing hands for entrepreneurs and solopreneurs and business opportunists and affiliate marketers and enterprises and scale-ups than I have seen right now. Okay, so here we go. If you have never, by the way, how many of you have never heard of me before? Just put me in the chat window if you've never heard of me before, or if it's the first time you're ever attending anything of mine. Just go ahead and drop that in the chat window if you have never attended anything, or if it's the first time you're hearing of me before. Let's see who we've got here. Okay, me, first timer, me. Okay, me. Okay, got it. All right, I'm really not that cool is what you're saying. So thank you for that. Well, if it's any consolation to you, I ain't never heard of these names either. I ain't never heard of you either. So, but I'm sure you're doing great work in the world. So let me share with you how to get the most out of sessions with me. So first of all, to get the most out of these sessions, and Ron, I'll ask you real quickly, are you able to see my slides fully, or are they look a little cut off on my side, but it could just be the way I'm viewing it there.
They look cut off on your side. I see your webcam, and I see, okay, now I see, well, it still looks a little cropped at the top there.
That's interesting. Is there any suggestion you have about how to make it not cut off on this?
Is there a button that lets you reduce it, or because let's see, make presenter. So you're the presenter.
Yeah, I mean, okay, no problem. I don't know if there's a webcam. Give me 1 second. I'm gonna see if I can get here. I got it right here. There it is. Boom. Right? Did that do it? Oh no, that made it worse.
Is it a full screen, like a little full screen toggle that lets you put your thing full screen?
Well, no, so I'm running on a whole bunch of mixers here, and all right, we'll do the best with it. We'll figure it out. All right, well, I'll explain it. It's on screen. Okay, well, here we go. Ready? So first of all, I'd like you to focus. All right, I want you to just turn every other distraction off. I know it's easy to get on these webinars and simply, multitask. You do emails, you do other work in the background. I'd like you to give yourself permission. We're gonna be on about an hour and 15 minutes today, and I would like you to just stay very focused on what we're talking about, because I go deep and I go fast. I grew up in the city of Chicago. I went to an Ivy school in Boston. I went to New York to go to work. And then I went to Silicon Valley to start my first companies at 20 years old. So I'm used to talking fast, thinking fast, and moving fast. So you got to focus or you'll miss a lot of what I'm talking about. Second is I'd like you to participate. Since this is live, I want you to feel that it's live. That's the whole point in us doing these things live. Otherwise, we could have just sent you a video. So I'd like you to actually engage with me. I may ask you some questions in the chat window. I'd like you to, give me back stuff. I'd like to know who you are and what you're doing and how to sculpt things. So if you see something and you're like, wow, that's amazing, great, write it in the chat window. If you have a question about something, right? Or if you're like, hey, can you go a little deeper? I mean, we can go as deep as you want this. And I know some of you barely scratched the surface of AI. You're just getting used to it. Others of you are using it quite a bit. And so you might be ready for more advanced principles. I'm okay with all that, but just let me know in the chat window and participate. And finally, take lots of notes. I'm going to be dropping golden nuggets on you here of, the best practices of how to grow your business. And by the way, I'd like to ask you just now, how many of you here are looking to launch something, or you want to grow something, or you want to scale something? So just drop that in the chat window real quickly. How many of you here want to launch, grow, or scale? And just put it in there, launch, grow, or scale, depending on where you're at in your business. You might be here because you want to start something. You want to learn how to just make some money with AI tools, or you want to be here because you want to grow the business that you're in, or you want to scale up. So tell me that real quick. And I see, okay, launch, scale. Okay, launch. Great. Okay, lots of launchers. Great. So we're getting started. Great. You're going to love this. Launch a collectible business, start one, launch a business. Okay, great. Good. Thank you. That's actually really valuable for me to know. So I'll talk a little bit more about how these tools are helping business owners launch businesses. Okay. And I see a couple growers and a couple scales. So I'll throw in a couple advanced things too. Okay, check it out. If you are excited to get at least 1 day back per week, you're going to love what I'm talking about today. If you would love to focus on more important things in your world because you feel like you've just gotten busy all the time, you're going to love what I'm talking about here. Let's see if this is making it. No, it doesn't make it any better. All right, well, you'll have to kind of deal with some of the cutoff stuff here, but I'll do my best to translate it. If you would love to 10x your income or 10x your revenue or 10x your profit faster than ever before, you're going to love what I'm talking about here today. Because what we're going to look at today is how you can do everything faster, cheaper, and better. And that's what's been going on in the world of AI tools. So if you have no idea who I am, I'll share a little bit more about me later on, but here's a couple of thoughts. So I've spent the last 17 years teaching around the planet. I've given over 3,000 presentations in 5 different continents. I actually am often in huge stadiums speaking to 5, 10, 20, 30,000 people. And then we run these events all over the world. In January this year, I ran an event with 76,000 people on it. Last year, we had an event with 105,000 people on it. So we run some of the biggest events in the world. And we often invite and work with some of the biggest, highest profile people in the world. And these people have trusted us, from Richard Branson to Tony Robbins, to Robert and Kim Kiyosaki, to Randy Zuckerberg from the Zuckerberg family and Facebook, to help them implement transformational technologies into their businesses. And in fact, in 2023, Tony actually made us faculty for Business Mastery. So we now teach transformational technologies to all of his students across the world. And in May, we'll be with Richard Branson in Necker Island, for those of you that are from the UK, as he wants us to be teaching all the Virgin executives and all of his teams. We're going to spend 4 days with him on his island and all of his Virgin execs to teach them how to be using the current transformational technologies that are changing the planet. So what's going on? Well, the world has got a shifting paradigm. AI has completely shifted the way we think and the way we interact and the way we work with people. It's a very significant shift. And these kind of shifts only come along once every 10 years or so, okay? It's pretty crazy. And so this is an unusual opportunity right now that we're just at the beginning of. We're really in just year 2 of AI technologies. Year 1 was 2023. They came out at the end of 2022. Now, AI is not new, just so you know, it's been around a long time. I've been using AI technologies in our businesses to grow for over 22 years. And I'll share some fun stories back from the early 2000s, because obviously Ron's been around a long time too, right? So we've been around. We're a little bit dinosaurs in the in the business. But as long as you stay relevant, because many of you here may feel like you're dinosaurs, or you're a little bit, I don't know, you've been around a long time and, oh my gosh, this new stuff, I don't have time to learn it, or it seems like it's all this flashy new stuff. Kane, how do I just focus in on the most important things? I'm going to talk about that today. But what I'm seeing going on here is as significant as when the computer got introduced to the world, as significant as when the internet came out, and as significant as when smartphones came out. When I say significant, I'm talking about how much money started changing hands, how much opportunity started going on, when social media connected us all across the world. Now, in 2016, I started talking about AI technologies, and everybody looked at me like I had 3 heads. And until the CEO of Google came along and said, hey, AI technologies will be important to humans as electricity and as fire was. That's pretty big. But it's brought up a lot of questions for people. People are wondering, should we fear AI? And I hope that by the end of today, you actually feel comfortable embracing AI, right? To me, I don't think there's anything to fear, right? Now, we focus on business. We don't go into medical. We don't go into cybersecurity. We're not in military. We're just in business. And today in business, this is helping us be able to reduce our costs and get more productive faster than ever before. And so the question, should you fear AI? Look, you should fear the media. The media loves to keep you scared. In fact, I've got a lot of friends who are top journalists, and they love election years. You know, for those of you that are in the States with me here, we're having an election year, right? They love it because all they do is create controversy and negativity and fear constantly, because that gets your attention. And those companies are in the game of keeping your attention. That is their business. And so really all this fear, and you see it. But just by the way, for the last 200 years, humans have always been taught to fear every new technological advancement that's come out. So you need to embrace it, and you need to embrace it quickly. The longer you spend in doubt and fear and concern and comfort, the longer it takes for you to start getting your piece of the pie of the $15 trillion money that's changing hands over the next few years. It is not only the now, it's the future. And as I spent time with Bill Gates in my early 20s, mid-20s, I guess, 26 years old, Bill used to say to us, if you want to get rich, figure out where the world is headed and get there first. This is where the world is headed. And we're at the beginning of it. Even though it's gone fast and furious, and there's 12,500 AI tools in the marketplace, it's still the beginning. It's still the beginning. And that means that it's important that you take action right now to get in, to be involved, to learn the tools, integrate them into your business or your money-making processes, launch your new businesses, and make sure that you are taking advantage of these opportunities. The other thing that people ask us all the time is, how can I use it? How can I use it in my life? And I'm going to talk about that today. I'm going to share with you how companies are leveraging it. And many people are concerned that it's too complex for them. But in fact, these tools are very simple to use. Let's say they're easy to use. Simple, like you definitely don't, there's no code. You don't need to learn any code. I actually have a background in computer science, and I don't need any of that. I don't use any of that when I use these tools. This is simply actually understanding how to engage with bots. But let me be clear, your future of your wealth is how good you can communicate to these bots, because there's a science behind it and there's a way to do it. And when you do it well, you will find that you will have all sorts of opportunities. And when you do it poorly, you're going to get crap out of them. They're just going to give you garbage. You're not going to get anywhere. Garbage in, garbage out. We'll talk about prompt engineering today. We're going to talk about communicating with these bots. We'll talk about it all. But we're going to talk about it in business. And when I was at Tony Robbins, people said, hey, you keep saying these bots can do everything. Is there a bot that can do my dishes and clean my house? And the answer is yes. And with 3 kids, I'm super excited that this is almost released to the marketplace, because we are going to be the first ones to be getting Anna, who can clean our house. All right, so let's dive into business. Why am I so excited about this? Well, let me give you some cool stats. The expectation is that there's gonna be 15, just you see that word trillion? I know all you can see is trillion. No problem. That's all you got to see. $15.7 trillion more in the marketplace by 2030. That means over the next 6 years, we're going to see a massive acceleration curve of money coming to businesses and opportunists that are jumping in and working with AI tools. By 2025, it's going to have increased 12 million jobs net in the marketplace. So all these journalists who are screaming, oh my God, it's taking over jobs. There's been 900 million jobs that have been lost. Yes, because people are not getting replaced, they're getting displaced. And I want you to write that down. You're not going to get replaced by AI tools. It won't happen, not in the near future. They're very far away from that. The amount of human in the loop that we need right now, you're not going to be replaced, but you will be displaced. What you're doing right now to create value in the marketplace will not be what you do after I get done with you 12 weeks from now and I train you up in all these tools thoroughly and how to use them and implement them into your workflows. You will not be doing the same things. And that means that people who are resistant to learning these things and integrating, they're getting displaced. Now, what will eventually happen is they'll go grumble and complain and be all pissed off and all that. And then they'll come back and they'll just learn them, just like they had to learn email, just like they had to learn how to use a smartphone, just like they had to learn how to use a computer. Nobody ever complains today going, you got to learn a computer? That's horrible. These people are evil. No, they just do it. It's just part of our work. And that's what's happening with AI technologies. Everybody will just learn it and do it. I see there's a question from David. Hey, David, says, can you use AI with affiliate marketing? Absolutely. And the reason is that I'm going to show you about marketing, sales, product development today, and how you can use it among other things, leadership, culture building, personalized marketing, all sorts of stuff. And one of the first places it's actually being a huge help with is marketing. So I'll show you a lot of that, and I'll refer back to that. Thanks for the question. But here's what we're seeing. AI can reduce costs up to 30% in businesses and make you 30% more profitable in just a few weeks. Our students that come through our sprints, we run these 12-week sprints where we teach them how to integrate these tools, learn them, master them, and put them into their workflows. It just takes us 12 weeks. In 3 months, they're up and running. They're seeing profitability in just these few short weeks that's getting them up to about 30% more profitable. Now, just think about that for a second. Imagine you learned a set of technologies and you suddenly made 30% more profit, not because you're doing anything more, but because you're going faster, cheaper, and better. That's pretty powerful, because I don't know anything else that can get you 30% more profitable in 90 days, essentially, without having to do different things. But it's also helping our students become up to 40% more profitable, productive, 40% more productive. That means they're getting back almost half their weeks. That's amazing. Think about what you would do with over half your week. Over half your week. Daryl says, I can't see the slides. Don't worry, Daryl. I'm not using them, because when I'm using them, you're getting this. So I'm giving you what's on the slide, but I will use some of them because I've got some demos and examples that I'll be sharing with you. In the meantime, you're going to be able to get more productive, which means more time back for you. Okay, more time back. Andre says, I've got an e-commerce store that sells standing desks. Can it help me? Absolutely. We've got 3 standing desks in our office. I love standing desks. They're amazing. And absolutely, because every business, no matter what business you are in, product, services, or technologies, is using these AI technology, because although every business is a little different, it's got a different founder, it's got maybe a different product or different service, it still has very similar things. A business is a business is a business. You need to lead generate, you need to convert, and you need to deliver. And inside of there, from the marketing to the sales to the leadership, culture building, the admin, the customer service, and the fulfillment, you've got very similar processes that every company is going through. Okay. So if you didn't know, almost half of the world's companies, there's about 380 million businesses across the world. That's the current statistic. About half of them are implementing AI technologies. Now just think about that. 380 million companies across the world. That makes up essentially billions of people in the workforce, and they're implementing them, which means your competitors are starting to learn them, people are using them, and it's creating a human shift in how we do things and where we place our attention. Why? Why? Very simply, why? Everything now is faster, cheaper, and better. Faster, cheaper, and better. Okay. Now, Steve Jobs used to say that the computer is like a bicycle for the mind. When you use it, you can go further, farther, faster. If that's the case, we say that AI tools are motorcycles for the minds. You can zoom past people. And I'm just going to warn you now that if you don't take action immediately on learning how to use them and implement them, you're going to see your competitors and people in the marketplace on their motorcycles zooming right past you while you ride around on a bicycle. Okay, you know you cannot keep up. It's just like trying to walk as fast as a bicycle. You can't. You can't ride a bicycle as fast as a motorcycle. So you need to be able to keep up. All right, so what are we going to talk about today? Well, let's see if you can see these. I'm going to talk about how tools work. No, I'm going to talk about how AI tools work. I'm just going to read these slides for you. I don't think you can see them on this. I'll give up. I'm going to show you how they're organized, okay, and how you can organize them to make them more simple. I'm going to show you how they can impact your business. I'm going to show you how you can leverage them and what businesses are doing and what entrepreneurs are doing. And I'm going to show you how to become what I call an AI-assisted entrepreneur. Okay. Hey, if you would love to learn how to implement these tools and learn how to put them into your workflows and become an AI assistant entrepreneur, just say yes for me real quick. Just put yes in the chat window while I take a little sip of water here. Okay, great. Yeah. How can I get assisted? Awesome. Okay. So I'd love to know why you're here and what level of experience you have with AI technology. Okay. So first of all, tell me if you have heard about AI and you're hearing about it, just put a me in the chat or put a number 1. I'm going to ask you 5 different questions. So put a number 1. If you yeah, Randy says there's music playing in the background. That's me, Randy. Want you to know, baby, I love you like I love. I'm actually sitting in a full production podcast suite that we have at our office. I've got a full stand-up studio down the hall here that we do all of our education. So we like multimedia. I like to keep you educated. I'm on stage, constantly with Tony and everybody where there's all this great music and media. So we have good times and we have fun. Okay, you've been hearing about it. Great. Put a 2 in the chat window if you're using it daily right now. If you're using it, current statistics show that people have used ChatGPT no more than 2 times themselves. So just drop a 2 in the chat window if you're using it daily. Okay. Not seeing that many 2s. So maybe you're not using it that much. Maybe you'd like to get more educated on it. I see a handful. Okay, great. Now put a 3 in the chat window if you have it integrated into your workflows. If you've got your emails being answered by chatbots, if you've got auto attendants answering things, if you've got tools reaching out and warming up and nurturing leads and booking them on your calendars, if you have got AI bots giving you feedback on your presentations and your meetings and giving you sales feedback. Okay, if we know none of that, okay, we got maybe 1 or 2. Okay, great. I wish, Sarah says, yeah, we're going to talk about that today. Okay, absolutely. Okay. In the meantime, hey, Ron, can I ask you a quick question?
Sure.
Would you mind? I would normally never do this, but let me ask you. Would you mind if I dropped I've got a lot of demos, and my concern is they're not going to be able to see this stuff with the way it's formatted on the screen. Would you mind if I dropped the Zoom link in here and we just moved everybody over to our Zoom meeting where I could show them all these demos? Because I'm concerned. I had no idea this was going to be a 4x3 matrix. Are you okay if we do that over to? They would just have to.
You could actually change the matrix if you go like File at the top, Options, View.
If I can, where do I do that?
File. Let me see. File, Preferences, Webcam.
So I'm going into webcams, into preferences. I'm changing it to 16:9 because I'm just about to start showing all these demos, and I just don't think they're going to be able to see them. And when I do that, it just changes by 16:9, but it's not actually changing the screen. It's just elongating the screen. So I don't think this will be set. Let me see. Give me 1 second here, guys. Give me 1 second. See if I can. Let me see if I can get the video input down. Hold on 1 second here while I make this. Let me scale it down. Oh, I think I can get it here. Let's see. Oh, there you go. Look at that. Yes.
Oh, there you go.
Oh my gosh. Okay. All right. Look at that, ladies and gentlemen. We have got liftoff. Can you see that fully, Ron?
Yes, beautiful.
Okay, good. Then we're good to go. Then we can just stay right here. Okay, good. All right, I'm going to scale my video too because my video is actually really this thing is scaled down, baby. All right, let's do this. Here we go. Look at that. Scaling everything down.
I have no idea how you're doing that, but it looks much better now.
Thank you. Yeah, that's okay. Good. All right, everybody. There we go. I just had to scale it all down for the system. Okay. All right, good. We're in business. I love it. Yes. Now it's my turn. Yes. Okay. All right, now I can use my slides. This is great. I feel much better about it. Okay, here we go. Put a 4 in the chat window if you understand that we're going through a major, significant human shift. Just put a 4 in there if you get that. This is a major human shift. Okay, awesome. I get it. Yeah, like it's really just changing the fabric, good, of how we work. And finally, give me a 5. Last question here. If you understand that your competitors and other people in the world are using this, and if you know that you've got to take some action and getting this into your world, just put a 5 in the chat window. If you know that other people, your competitors in business, are using this. Yeah, okay, great. All right, you get it. You get it. Okay, awesome, good. All right, wonderful. All right, let's dive in. So I'm going to talk about ChatGPT a lot more later on because it's a great teaching tool. It's a great learning tool. So I'll talk about it. Now, real quickly, how many of you are using ChatGPT? Just put a me in the chat window if you're using ChatGPT. I'd love to know how many of you know about it. And then on the other hand, I'd love if you're not using it or you're not that familiar with it, just put a no in the chat window, like you're not that familiar with it, because I'd love to know how many of you, like, I speak to a lot of audiences who, even to today, they're like, I've never even heard of it, which is amazing to me. But it's okay. That's why we're here. We're here to teach and learn. So don't be shy about that. If you're not familiar with it or you just know about it but you're not using it, okay, Keisha. Okay, great, good. Thank you for that. It helps me know how kind of at the beginning I need to start here. So check it out. So ChatGPT is considered a chatbot. Okay, it's a chatbot. It is a super brain. It knows everything about everything about everything. Okay, it's scanned the internet 12 billion times. It's read every book known to mankind. It is a super brain, and you interface with it through a browser. I'll show you more of that later on. And you can interface with it through through Firefox or through Chrome or through whatever you use. Okay, Edge or whatever. And we can talk with it through chats, and it can feed us back. Now, it's considered a large language model, an LLM for short, large language model, okay, LLM. And these LLMs are trained on large amounts of language, okay? I'll take a little, there you go, LLM. They're trained on large amounts of language, and what that means is that they have been trained to engage in a language model or with you in language. Okay, so I asked ChatGPT, tell me what industries are going to be radically affected by AI. You know what it told me? Everything. Healthcare, finance, manufacturing, logistics, consulting, coaching, fitness, e-commerce, affiliate marketing, sports marketing, social media, travel, tourism, government, you name it. It's in here. Every single business on the planet is going to get affected. But the good news is that you have already been being affected by AI for years. So it's not as new as you think. It's been around since the 50s. We've had it integrated into platforms for about 20 plus years. And in fact, now we're surrounded by it. Now, if you have ever said to Alexa, play the new Taylor Swift song, and it's played it, it was using AI technologies. But the good news is it uses natural language. And it's got a thing called NLP. You should write this down. It's called natural language processing. Okay, NLP, natural language processing. And I know many of you have studied or NLP, neurolinguistics. It's a different type of NLP. Natural language means that these tools use your language to process everything, okay? However, there's a science to how you communicate with these tools. And as we know, Ron's a great marketer, right? So Ron, when he wanted to become a great marketer or really expand his reach, he said, I've got to learn the language of marketing. So I need to be able to learn how to market. That means I have to learn what affiliates are, what a landing page is, what an opt-in box is, what are all these things? This is the language of marketing. And so you've learned, if you want to be a better salesperson, you use the language of sales. If you want to become a better leader, you learn the language of leadership. Hey, buddy. Hey, welcome to my 4-year-old. How you doing? Needs a hug. Okay, so the more we learn about language and how to communicate with these bots, the better we become at getting the output and the success with them. Okay, so the other thing that they have is called machine learning. And machine learning is a pretty cool thing, which is it allows these tools to learn how you interact and how you engage and to become better and better. And if you want to write this down, it's what separates AI from automation. AI is not automation. There's two different things going on. There's automating things, and then there's AI-ifying things. And what we're doing with our students in our sprints is showing them how to AI-ify their businesses. And the difference between automation and AI is that it has a learning mechanism where it can become better at what it's doing with you. Okay. Now, just in case you want to understand how is this being used, well, Netflix has been using this for a long time. A lot of technologies have. Amazon's been using it. Netflix has been using it, and they've been using the first version of AI, which is called curation. So basically, the algorithms in Netflix watch what you're watching, and then they recommend to you what you could be watching because attention is the biggest currency. Does anybody want to guess who is the biggest competitor to Netflix? Drop that in the chat window. Who do you think is the biggest competitor to Netflix? I want to just see what you have to say. Who is the biggest competitor to Netflix? What do you think? Let's see what you think. Prime, Amazon, YouTube, Disney. Now, Bruce got it. Bruce, you nailed it. It's sleep. It's sleep. That's really the number one competitor to Netflix. That's how the CEO of Netflix describes their number one competitor. So their job was, how do we use the best tools and technologies in the world to make sure people's attention stayed glued into this? Well, wouldn't you like to be using those kind of tools and technologies? I was just teaching one of our sprint classes today, and we were talking about video AI technologies that I'll show you how to use, and I'll talk about today, that will engage the audience by science to keep their attention. Isn't that cool? Hey, how come Netflix gets to have all the fun? Well, they've been curating content and showing you things based upon your behavior. So has all of the social media tools. Want to know why they're so addicting? Well, because they know exactly what you're excited by, what you're influenced by, and what keeps your attention. And then their AI algorithms curate the content and they put that in front of you. Wouldn't you like to have that power? Well, you can now. And so we show you exactly how to be able to implement that kind of stuff into your business as one of many, many categories of tools that you learn how to use with us. In the meantime, this is the first evolution of AI. It was called curation. And we were using AI algorithms to curate content. But in 2022, something happened that really blew the doors off of the world. And this is what everybody's super excited about. It's called generative AI. Generative AI is the AI technology that allows these technologies to generate from scratch. That means, hey, if you want to have a new idea for a book, I can get you 10 ideas generated in a split second. Want to have an email written for you? No problem. We can generate that in a split second. Want to have videos for B-roll generated for you? Want to have an image generated for you from your storyline? Well, now we can create it from scratch, not just pull it from a database. And so that's what generative AI means. It implies that the system is able to produce content that's not just pulling it from existing data, but create it from brand new. And it's indistinguishable from human created content. Indistinguishable. Well, that's a whole new world to it. Now we have technologies that can create things that we can't tell are not made from humans. Yes, we can. I'm going to show you some examples today. You're going to love it, because it turns out you now have to be more attentive to how people are creating things that you don't even know if it's real. And what's going on now and what's in the next 6 months, nobody's going to know what's real online anymore. Nobody's going to know what's been written by anybody. No one's going to know what images have been created, what videos have been created, if you're a real or human or not, or if you're a clone. Nobody has any idea, right? And they're not going to know in about 6 months to a year. No one will have any idea. So how do we manage that? Well, first of all, we are big voices in the world around authenticity and the ethical use of AI technologies. So we show you how to use it authentically and ethically. And guess what? All the world is moving towards it anyways. All the companies, all the governments, everybody's moving towards ethical use. So we show you how to use it and how to get ahead using it ethically. But the second thing you need to write down is your personal brand has become more important than ever. You and your brand has become more important than ever. People want to bond with you. They want to know who it is behind all of this AI wizardry. And so you're going to need to learn how to build your AI brand. So we train you up in all those things, because as we have been able to use AI tools to accelerate our brand and continue to use our brand, people can go, okay, these people are real. Okay, so it's pretty cool. Now, generative AI is giving us an infinite amount of ideas. Want a good idea for a new product to release? No problem. Want a good strategy for marketing? No problem. We can get that for you. It's giving us an infinite amount of possibilities. We can create and generate anything with it. It's giving us an infinite amount of leverage, being able to leverage the world's knowledge and wisdom. And it's giving us an infinite amount of speed to move faster than ever. Here's the problem. These are infinite technologies, and you and I were never trained initially by our schools, our parents, or educational communities to work with infinite technologies. I mean, my gosh, we barely use our own brains, which are infinite. How do we start working with infinite technologies that are like super brains, put all of our brains together? I mean, the natural statistic that Einstein came out with is that we're only actually leveraging about 2% of our capacity of our brains. Well, you put everybody's brain together, we're not even scratching the surface. So we have been learning that we've had to retrain people on how to work with these new infinite technologies. We call that an infinite mindset. As you learn how to work with an infinite mindset, you are ending up being able to get way better results out of these technologies. And I'm going to start to train you here, and then I will train you up very thoroughly in our sprints for 12 weeks, because I've only got so much time here today. So check it out. Let me give you a quick example of some infinite mindset. So one of our students that came through our AI-assisted entrepreneur sprint, 12 weeks, she was with us and she said, okay, look, I'm a property investor and I live in London. I live in the UK. If you think you're so good at this stuff, help me understand how to use it. So I said, well, what's problems you have? She said, I just invested in a flat in London and I can't seem to resell it. I've had it now on the market for almost 6 months and it's just not getting any offers. I've lowered the price 3 times. She wanted about, I think about £1 million for it, and she simply just couldn't get it. She was down to now 600,000 pounds, and she wasn't getting any bites on it at all. So I said, send me the pictures. Let me see what you're showing people. So this was the picture. She said, what do you think? I said, well, I think it's boring. I think it's clean, and I think it looks nice, but it's just, there's no imagination to it. I don't get excited. I don't want to invest it. I don't want to buy this. Like, I just think it's nice and clean. It tells me nothing about the story of life. She said, well, what do you want? These are the pictures. This is the place. I said, well, let's start to use AI technologies. And I said, let's run it through one of the recent companies we just invested in. We're investing in over a dozen new AI companies. This is one of them. We love it. It's called homedesigns.ai. And it allows you to redesign, reimagine, recreate internal and external designs to architecture, to buildings, to homes. And a lot of our real estate agents and property investors use this in their businesses on a day-to-day basis. This is one of many, many, many tools we teach how to use, of course. In the meantime, we built some prompts for it, and we dropped the picture in here, and we showed her what it could look like with an AI intervention. Watch this. Click. And I sent this back to her, and she went, oh my gosh, this is like revolutionary. I went, yeah. She says, that's the apartments. I said, yes, but it looks like what it could be. It's the infinite imagination that you can work with. And if you want it simpler, no problem. I can send her this. And I said, this could be nice and simple. Or if you want a big AI intervention, if you want something big, let's look at what we could go if we go big, right? Go big. And she went, oh my gosh, this is incredible. Now, I realize that by space, this is not 100% possible, right? But what it does is it opens up the imagination of what is possible. She took these pictures. She clearly marked them as AI enhanced images. She didn't try to, be anything but honest. And she said, this is what could be possible. She received over 3 dozen offers on this apartment, and she ended up selling it for 1.1 million pounds versus the 1 million she wanted, and she was at 600,000. So this is what I'm talking about. It's changing the game for people when they can actually understand how to work in infinite thinking. So we're going to change your thinking, and we're going to shift the way you think. I take you through 24 different mindset shifts, and this is what's been changing the world. And this is what Tony observed, and he said, oh my gosh, you got to be training on my business owners, and I want you on my stages, because we don't just teach you technologies and tools. There's a lot of, you can go on YouTube and find a bunch of videos and things. I mean, we certainly distill it down and make it easier and faster for you. But we also help you understand how to get the most out of these things by shifting the way you think. Let me give you 3 quick examples out of the 24 that I take you through over time. First of all, you're used to doing concrete searches, right? So you're used to getting on Google and typing in a keyword search and then getting the response. That's a keyword, that's a concrete search. Boom, I give you something, you give me something back. And so if you type in the best Thai restaurant in London or New York or in Texas or whatever, you're going to get your search results. And if you don't like it, you've got to go to a new concrete search. But that's not how AI tools work. They work in iterative dialogues. So we actually teach you how to actually work with technologies where you can iterate their answers and actually prompt chain and continue to refine the answers, because now you've got a much more powerful tool where you can keep iterating and changing and adjusting and refining the answer. In the meantime, you're used to looking for everything. Okay, I need a contract. Oh, I need emails. Oh, I need templates. Oh, I need an image. Oh, I need a video. I need a music bed, or I need songs, or you have to look for everything. And then you have to compromise. No more compromising. Now we create what you want, and we create it within seconds, and you own it. No more licensing fees, no more anything. And I should be a little bit more accurate. You actually get an in perpetuity license to use anything you create with AI technologies, right? In the meantime, you're used to saying, I need to do this. I need to show up. I need to talk to people. I need to do the negotiation. I need to do the sales. I need to answer the phones. I need to write the emails. No, you don't. Now the question we ask is, which AI tool can get this done for us? Because we've got almost our entire business AIified. I probably do about 20 to 30% of what I used to do, and everything else I spend my time doing things that are much more valuable. Like what? Like innovating, creating new things, spending more time in the media, building our brand, spending more time building relationships with high-profile celebrities or partners, or talking to Ron Moore about life, or spending time. That's what you want to do. Innovate, create. That's what you were designed to do. Not be busy all the time, chasing clients, chasing prospects, making invoices, sending emails, typing up documents, data entry. That stuff is not for you. Those are for the AI tools and the AI agents. And now we can get them done like that. Okay, so let's dive into one of our first and favorite AI tools, ChatGPT. This thing's brilliant. If you're not familiar with it, I'm going to take you fast through it. But if you are familiar with it, hang in there. I'll get into some more advanced stuff if you've been using this. So I like to cover the gamut between the starters to the advancers. And look, we've got a 50-person development team where I'm developing and deploying platforms into enterprises. So if you want to go deep, I can actually go through all the way everything's designed and developed. But I don't want to lose anybody here. So I'm going to start in the simplistic version. But don't worry, we get pretty deep in this. In the meantime, ChatGPT, it was released November 30th, 2022. So if you are not a master at it already, you're already over a year late. It was invented by a company called OpenAI, and it was invested into by Elon Musk, Sam Altman, and many others, including Microsoft. Okay. Now, when it got released, it was the fastest growing app of all time. It took 5 days to hit 1 million users around the planet, and literally just 60 days to hit 100 million users. There's about 200 million users of ChatGPT right now and over 1 billion interactions a day. You know what that means? Your competitors are already using it, and it's growing as an exponential hockey stick curve. If you don't know how fast that is for adoption, it's crazy fast. It took Netflix 3.5 years to get to 1 million users, so it's considered the fastest growing app of all time. Pretty amazing, right? And that means that you need to learn it, just like you may have waited forever to get on Facebook or whatever. And at some point you said, okay, there's 3 billion people on it. I want to see what's going on. Well, now that happened in just a few short weeks, not even the years it took all those other companies. So let's look at ChatGPT in its simplest form. I'm going to show you very simple prompts and very simple activities here just to start to get everybody up to speed. This is what it looks like. It's all browser based, so you interact with it through your browser. We use Chrome, so that's kind of what our browser looks like. And mine's going to look different than yours. You know why? Because I teach all of our students how to use extensions and plugins, because as it turns out, ChatGPT is amazing, but you can even soup it up. You can make it even better by using extensions and plugins. And so we take you through about a dozen different plugins that will actually make it even more powerful than it already is, and another dozen that show you how to integrate it into all your apps and things. And so it'll look a little different, but the essence is the same. We engage with ChatGPT through a prompt window, which is at the bottom of the screen here. And we use it through natural language. Remember, it just uses your language. So I'm going to drop in a very simple prompt, not an engineered prompt, something that's just very simple for you to see. So it's going to give me a very general answer, but that's okay. You'll see how it works. And I'm going to ask it to write me an email. Write me a marketing email for a new digital course that I'm going to release about how to help people train their dogs. Okay. I want this to help me write email. Hey, I'm not a professional copywriter or marketer, so I want the help. And write a really hypey one. I'm going to set the tone a little bit here so that it really sells the need to buy this from me. Okay. Now I'm going to click it through and drop it in there. So if you're getting started, if you're an affiliate marketer, look, now you're a professional copywriter in a split second. Subject line: unleash your pup's full potential with our canine training masterclass. Hey, are you a pet lover seeking the secret sauce of the wonderfully well-behaved pets? Whoa, this is amazing. I'm now a professional copywriter in just a split second. Now, could I have done that? Well, I happen to be a professional copywriter and a professional marketer. Could I have done that? Yeah, I could have done this, but it just saved me about 10 to 15 minutes of having to write it myself. And if I need to write a series of emails, like 5, 7, 9, 10, or 12 of them for a launch, that puppy can get done in just about 10 or 15 minutes versus having to spend an hour, 2 hours, or 3 hours writing all my emails. By the way, if I don't feel in the mood, doesn't matter. I can change it now. Let's say I want to change it to write a Facebook post. And look, it's iterative. I didn't even have to explain what I'm asking it to do. Simply write, hey, write me a Facebook post and the same thing, and use a lot of emojis. Attention all dog lovers struggling with a disobedient pup. Wish you could communicate effectively. Whoa, now I'm a conversion rate optimized Facebook ad writer. That's cool. Could I do that? Yeah, I could probably do that as well. But it just saved me another 10 or 15 minutes. And these minutes start to add up throughout the day, right? Let's do something a little bit more strategic so you can start to see how we can go a little bit deeper. Create a 30-day social media calendar for me. Now, I would typically do this with my chief marketing officer, who I've got to pay around $100,000 to $120,000 a year in bonuses and everything like that to create my social media calendar. No longer, that person just got promoted to something much more important than wasting their time creating a social media calendar for me, which is what they used to do, because now I can get this strategic done all on ChatGPT. So create a 30-day social media calendar for me where you rotate the subjects and the topics every day for 30 days. Give me a one-line description of what I should be writing. Now watch this. I'm going to leave a typo in here. Why? Because I've got an additional bot that's going to check my spelling and my grammar in just a second. And with a click, boom, it checks my spelling and my grammar. I don't even have to spend that extra minute or two that I would do reviewing it. Because look, every minute starts to add up. So here you go. In a split second, you've got your strategy done for you. 30-day social media calendar. Day 1, course launch announcement, big reveal. Mastering the dog training from bark to command. It even gives you cool brand suggestions. Day 2, introduce the trainer. Well, that might just be me. Day 3, testimonial Tuesday. Share successes from an earlier course. Day 4, breathe spotlight. And on and on and on and on. Look, you may have even seen or worked with ChatGPT a little bit, and maybe some of that excitement is wearing off. But just be honest. How many of you say this is a friggin' miracle that we can have a system do that kind of stuff for us? Just put a yes in the chat window if you believe that is a frickin' miracle, right? A miracle. Absolutely. Mel says absolutely. Lisa says yes. Liz says yes. John says yes. Art says yes. Jaco says yes. It's a miracle, ladies and gentlemen. It's amazing, right? And so now we can start having it take over I don't know, 30, 40, 50, 60% of the stuff that you've been doing all day long. And we're not even scratching the surface of the surface. I gave an entire masterclass to Tony and his platinum or his lions or whatever he calls them about how to model everybody in the world and model every great email you've ever had, model every great landing page. You can now create templates for yourself out of the most powerful, most sophisticated. You could model everything, webinars, YouTube videos, and we'll show you how to model because it's one of the most important things that you can do with ChatGPT is to be able to model and have it create templates and models for you. So how smart is ChatGPT? Well, it's smarter than you and me. It's passed the bar exam to become a lawyer. It's passed the medical school entrance exam, the law school entrance exam, the MBA exam. Hey, not bad having an MBA sitting on your laptop with you all day long. You don't have to pay the $500,000 a year to have them as your executive. How about the medical licensing exam? It passed the Stanford Medical School exam, and it passed the sommelier exam, which means it knows what to drink in order to celebrate all those other exams, right? Okay, so ChatGPT is a specific type of AI bot called a large language model, and I mentioned this, but it's not the only one. In fact, there are many large language models that have started to come out, but it's very expensive to create a large language model, so there's not a lot of them. There's about, I don't know, 15 to 20 large language models being developed by large companies that have basically tens of millions or hundreds of millions of dollars to be developing them well. I mean, OpenAI's chatbot, ChatGPT, that came up with hundreds of millions of dollars in investment. But Microsoft said, well, we can't let our partners have all the fun. So they released Bing, right, which has now become Microsoft Copilot, has evolved. Google originally launched Bard, which has now become Gemini, and it's now integrated into the Google Suite. And by the way, if you haven't learned MS Copilot, it's now totally integrated into the MS Suite of MS Office and PowerPoint and all these things. And it's doing unbelievable things. We take our spreadsheets now, and we can do data scraping and analysis off of MS Copilot like you've never seen before, getting analysis and data on our company and answers like I've never seen before. It can be spitting out emails, personalized emails to lists of people that we've got in those spreadsheets like crazy. And so can Gemini in the Google Bard Suite. So we show all of our students how to be using these integrated LLMs. And then we show them how to use things like Claude and Anthropic. And why should you even care? Why can't I just care about ChatGPT? Well, because the world's a-changing, ladies and gentlemen. The winds of change are coming, and the world is totally changing. Now these LLMs are becoming the most important intricacy to how you even have used all these systems before. And you can ignore them. Hey, you can go, Kane, this is nice, but I don't care. No problem. Everybody else is going to race past you and you're going to become a dinosaur. We've already started seeing it happen. In fact, there's a couple dozen out there, almost, 20 plus LLMs. And once we show you how to use a couple of them, you can use all of them. And that means every company that has been integrating LLMs into their systems, because everybody's doing it, everybody's integrating it from Zoom. Zoom has now got integration there. Every ClickFunnels, Groove, the guy who created Webinar Jam is the one also who created Groove. These guys are implementing AI into everything, so you better learn how to work with them. In fact, here's another important thing. I've been saying to entrepreneurs, affiliate marketers, business owners, business opportunists, every single one of you are going to have a large language model. And they go, what? He's not talking to me. And then Forbes came out and they said, every single business will have their own large language model. That means you, Mr. and Mrs. Buckaroo, you are going to have your own large language model. What? How could you possibly be talking to me? Oh, yes, you will. In fact, we're showing people how to build them and how to create them because they actually just take about an hour to start to get up and running. And then you can start training it in your own data. What? Yeah, take your head out of your brain. Take your brain out. Don't take your head out. Take your brain out of your head and create what I call a brain in a bot. Your brain in a bot. I'll talk about this more in just a second. Before we get there, just know that the way you're going to create your LLMs and communicate with them is through a science. And that language science is called prompt engineering. So write that down. You're going to need to learn how to prompt engineer. It's all the rave. All the kiddies are learning it. They're all dancing to polka music now and learning prompt engineering. Just teasing, just having some fun. Prompt engineering is the science behind how you communicate with the bots. And it's very simple. Why? It's because the output that you get out of them is based upon the input. So garbage in, garbage out, or engineered prompt in, engineered answer out. And that word engineered basically means that it is highly strategized. There's a science behind it. And I've watched CEOs sit down with these tools and play with them. They go, yeah, they're tools. We can't use these in our business. And it turns out that companies that don't learn how to prompt engineer are implementing at around 2%. Those that are learning how to prompt engineer are implementing at around 90+%. It's an important skill set. And here's the fun thing. We wanted to speed up our students, so we engineered prompts for them. In fact, we've got almost 30,000 prompts on our platform. I'll show you our most recent platform because we've engineered them for you. Well, what is an engineered prompt? Many people don't even know what I'm talking about when I say prompt engineer. Well, let me show you. This is a prompt, an engineered prompt, okay? An engineered prompt is a prompt that is highly specialized and designed to get great results. Now, it's long, it's arduous, and I'll show you how to create these for yourself in your own company, but I'm also going to give you close to 30,000 of them. We've got 20,000 of them deployed and 10,000 more coming up, and I'll show you what I mean. You may not even know you could do this, but I'm going to show you how to take our brain in a bot, our prompts, and drop them into ChatGPT. You may have not even known that they could do this. And then you can use our brain. I mean, hey, we've done $500 million in our company, so we kind of get how to deploy products and ideas from scratch out to the marketplace. And so you take our strategies and our step-by-step processes and you merge them with what's called your use case. What's a use case? That's what you want to use it for. That's your personalized or specific situation. And if you didn't know, you can drop our prompts right into ChatGPT and it will pop open a form for you when you select it. Watch, boom. And now you just have to drop in your use case. So let's say I wanted to create a digital course using ChatGPT. And I'm going to just give you a simple example. Well, when you use our prompts, which we've got tens of thousands of them for you, you can then just drop them in. It pops open a form and it says, well, what's your use case? So let's say you wanted to create a product for professional moms and you want it to be 6 weeks long. And you wanted to target their main problem of not enough time. They don't have enough time, but they want to get fit. They want to lose weight. They want more energy, but they don't have a lot of time. And I'm going to share a course, a digital course, which is going to give you recurring revenue, passive income, if you just sell it on a landing page. And I'm going to now sell it here for, I don't know, $97 or $47, whatever you want. It could be a lead magnet or whatever. I'm going to drop in the form. It's going to merge it with this guy's brain in a bot. And here's what the ultimate, this is what the final prompt looks like. And boom, I drop it in ChatGPT, and within a split second, I'm getting professionally designed output, how it needs to be done. And now I'm an expert in fit moms, fit and energized moms, mastering your energy on a short timeline. Module 1, understanding your time constraints, exercises, homeworks, quizzes, videos, scripts, and everything. You can get anything you want out of this. Pretty amazing, huh? Isn't that awesome? You think that would save you some time to be able to get our brain in a bot? Absolutely. And so that's what we've done. We've created about 30,000 prompts. We've deployed 20 of them. They're all indexed, organized, and searchable, and you get them. They handle every different aspect of your business. But guess what? It gets even better because recently ChatGPT released the opportunity for you to create your own GPT. That means you can create your own brain in a bot. Well, that means you can create a customized version of any ChatGPT for a specific purpose and then use that, or guess what? Rent it or sell it to others. What? Yep, so that's what we did. Our team went right in. You can see this is by our head of our AI team. His name is Atu. He created the Kane Minkus brain in a bot. So now all of our students are able to access my brain in a bot. You can ask me any questions 24/7, get strategy, feedback, and everything. You know, when I saw this, you know what I said to my wife? I said, hey, honey, we're out of business. We've now got AI bots that can take our brain and put it into a bot, and our team and our students can ask it any questions anytime and get back responses that are pretty much exactly the same. We've trained it on 3,000 hours of our wisdom and knowledge, and we're going to show you how you can deploy these things yourselves, because every single one of you here needs to have your own brain in a bot. You know, my dad is 80 years old. He turned 80 a couple weeks ago, and he says, what he said to me for years, I wish I could just take all my wisdom and knowledge out of my head and just put it into your brain in a chip. So you don't have to spend the time going through your life making the mistakes that I did and learning the things that I learned. Well, Dad, I showed him this and I said, this is now what you're looking for. And he literally wept. He said, this is amazing. Your generation will have the opportunity to share wisdom and knowledge in brains in a bot like we never could. It's pretty amazing, right? And in fact, Elon's even doing this. They're putting chips in people's brains. It's all based on the LLM technologies, and you are going to need to understand it. Now, Andy asked, will ChatGPT allow for long format content? Andy, it's a very good question, and it comes down to what's called token sizes. And we're going to show you there's two different types of token sizes you need to understand. There's context window, and then there's the prompt tokens. ChatGPT is limited to about 8,000 prompt tokens, which means when you put information in, you can only engage with it about 8,000 tokens. And I'll explain what a token is later on. It requires a little bit too much time to explain right here. But the idea is this, Andy, if you're going to do long format content, we're actually going to recommend you use Claude. And we show you how to use it. And that's exactly why we show you different LLMs. Because, you know, look, about a year ago when everything started and you heard about ChatGPT and Bing and Bard and all these things, they were kind of all the same. It was just like, well, which one do you want to choose? Just pick your flavor and use it. But in fact, they're starting to specialize now to differentiate, and that's becoming a big deal. So you'll now actually need to become aware of them and why you would use them, because it turns out, for example, Andy, long format content. For example, when we edit our books, we used to write books. It would take us 9 months, to edit it. Now we can get it done. We got our last book edited in 5 days. That's it. And we used AI technology to help us edit our book. It helped us write some of it as well, but to edit it, which is a long process, that cut down major amount of time, energy, and we were able to get our book to the market immediately. Okay, hopefully that answers that question. But ladies and gentlemen, I want to introduce you to one really cool thing. You can not only create your brain in a bot, you can actually have other people pay you for your knowledge and your wisdom. This is pretty amazing. And the future here is going to be your brain in a bot. They've opened the GPT store, and now we're making passively thousands and thousands of dollars a day with people engaging and using our brain in a bot. And we've got friends that are making tens of thousands a month with people that are just doing it. And we have a couple friends that are making millions a month just having their chatbots out there. Pretty amazing, huh? How many of you are okay making millions a month with people using and renting your brain? Isn't that amazing? Isn't that amazing? John says, are there copyright issues when creating books since all data is aggregated? Yes, John, you don't own the copyright to anything that AI does for you. The current legal situation is you just get an in perpetuity license, but you do not own it, especially if it's over 50%, okay? Donna says, yes, please, I'd like to be making money on my bot. I would like to be making money. I want to make millions. Why not? I love it. Okay. Well, guess what? The ultimate skill of the 21st century is going to be how well you talk to robots. That's it. How well do you talk to robots? That's going to be the #1 skill. And we're going to share with you how to be able to do that. Now, many of you said you had never heard of me before. No problem. Let me introduce you to us. When I say us, I'm not just talking about me. I'm also talking about my wife, who she and I work, train, teach together. We're both serial entrepreneurs. And you can imagine what a household of 2 serial entrepreneurs married to each other is like. There's a lot of business talk. Our kids get a little bored listening to my wife, but we love it. We're geeks like that. We speak the nerd language of business. But instead of me introducing you and telling you how great I am, I will have me introduce you and tell you how great I am. Here you go.
Hi, this is Kane Minkus, multi-award winning entrepreneur, international best-selling author, and a globally renowned speaker and a coach. I just wanted to tell you that actually Imatu Horace, who just successfully cloned Kane Minkus, and nobody would know the difference.
What? That's not me. That's my clone. Okay, that's my clone. And you probably would have never known that if I didn't tell you that. But we developed cloning technology last year that won a couple of awards. It's some of the best cloning technology out there in the marketplace. It does merge together several models in the marketplace, including things like HeyGen and 11 Labs and several others, to be able to create a platform that all of our students get access to be able to have their clones. Why would you want to clone? Well, if you've ever wanted a digital twin or somebody just like you, able to answer your phones, answer your calls, engage people, send out marketing videos, do all the social media content that you just hate doing, guess what? Your clone is the success way to do that. So now all of our students get access to our clone platform, and you can generate any videos you want by actually having AI generate a script and merge it right in with your clone. You can generate a sitting clone, a standing clone, anything. We actually have about 4 different clones we have. And you can actually even just write the script yourself. Anything you want your clone to say, you can. And I'll give you some examples of how our students have used this. So this is Paul. Paul came through our AI-assisted 12-week sprint. And he runs a high-end guitar company. He sells high-end acoustic guitars. Every time they had a new guitar come in, he would have to create a video for the product. And he just felt like he was spending too much time every week. Instead of working on the business, he was working in the business. So now he took our clone technology and he now uses his clone. This is a clone of Paul. It's not him for real. It's his clone describing any product he wants.
Hello, everybody. This is Paul Humiller here at Dream Guitars. And today I have a lovely Ted Astrand guitar from 2017 for you. Ted is a superb maker from Sweden, and this is his most...
Pretty amazing, huh? How about this guy? This is Pinaki Saha. Pinaki is a tech CEO, and he gets all of his leads for his clients through a referral. So every time he gets a referral, he would have to send them out a video about who he is, explaining who he is. And it just took him more time. He'd have to get in the studio. He'd have to make sure his hair is right. Ha, ha, ha. That's a little joke. And he'd have to make sure that he's ready and dressed and everything. Well, he didn't want to have to do that. So he can just throw these videos out faster. And it increases speed time, which increases conversion. And this is Pinaki's clone.
I'm Pinaki Saha, CEO, co-founder of Anshar Labs, a global engineering powerhouse. I'm a creative missionary and immigrant who graduated from the Indian Institute of Technology and launched
Amazing, huh? This is Antoinette Bond. She used our cloning technology to start to produce social media videos, and she sent this one out for a new product she was launching and ended up creating more response than she ever had before.
Hello, I'm Antoinette Bond, and I'm here to help you reach your ultimate goals. I'm a business coach, and I want you to know that many...
Unbelievable. And just be honest, how many of you find this absolutely unbelievable? Aren't these Unbelievable clones. You can't tell the difference. I can't, and I know they're clones. And I work with these students. They're amazing, right? Isn't that incredible? Yeah, Rafael says those are not real. Those are clones, right? That's amazing. It's amazing, okay? All right, awesome. Okay, so cool beans. Let's move on from there. I want to start getting you into how you can deploy this stuff into your business. Now, here's what I know about what's going on. I've got 7 researchers working with me around the clock because this has become a whole field of education. By January of 2023, we had researched 4,277 bots on the marketplace. By March, we had researched to 6,700 that were on the marketplace. By June, 7,000. By September, 8,254. By November 23, almost 10,000 bots. Today, I got to update this. Today, there's over 12,500 bots and AI tools in the marketplace. You know what that means for you? It means it's overwhelming. So we have gone through all these bots. That's what our team does on a daily basis. There's 200 to 300 bots a day. This is what our desktop looks every day. 200 to 300 bots a day our team is going through to understand what's a repeat, what's relevant, what's garbage, what's real. Then we took a business and we mapped it to 3,116 different activities and actions you need to create revenue and to be able to run an incredible business. And we mapped that to 60 tools. That's all. We call them the sexy 60. The sexy 60 are the 60 AI technology tools that you have to learn. You have to know. I mean, ChatGPT is definitely in there, right? And you have to learn. And when you do, your entire business is able to be automated and AI-ified. This is a huge breakthrough, okay? So here's what I've learned. I'm going to share with you now the real deal of how this is getting implemented into people's businesses and developing 8-figure a year revenue streams from scratch. And I'm quite different than marketers out there. Most of this AI world is being led by a lot of inexperienced entrepreneurs, what I call loudmouth marketers. I'm going to start sharing the real deal with you and how you can really implement this and make significant money. And I think you'll get excited and maybe even give me a little kiss by the end. Though everybody seems to kiss my wife more than me. Jeez. Okay. I like this quote. It was the best of times. It was the worst of times. I like it because it demonstrates what happened during COVID. COVID was the first time we saw everything shift quickly. People want new things, new technologies come out. And it was the first time we got to see what happens if you don't move quick and pivot fast, what can happen to you around your revenue stream. Some of you had an amazing time in COVID. Some of you had a very tough time during COVID financially. And if you had a great time, you pivoted and took new advantages of the new opportunities and you engaged in new ways. New opportunities mean new money. That's what's going on now. We've got a new wave of AI, and it's just not only just what happened in 2023, but in 2024, there's about to be a huge amount of releases over the next 30 to 60 days that's going to change the game even more. And if you don't jump on this, you're going to go bankrupt easily, or you're going to struggle or suffer or somehow end up working for other people. Or if you take advantage of it and you learn it and you get in it, you can create a fortune. It's up to you. AI is exploding. Let me share with you ways that companies are using this and how you can too. This is a company that does a little bit of cloning stuff similar to us, but they focus on celebrities and influencers, okay? And they started off by cloning a Snapchat influencer named Karen. Now, this is a pretty fun story, so listen carefully. They created a chatbot out of Karen. Now, what a chatbot is, a chatbot is a bot that interacts with you through natural language, and it can engage with a person in a human-like form. So imagine I was chatting with somebody, and who do I see on here? I see Paula Beanie is on here, okay? Paula. So I don't know Paula, but Paula's on here, right? And if I had Paula's telephone number, I could then text Paula and I could say, Paula, how's it going? And she'd say, good, I'm doing fine. I'd say, great, what are you doing today? Just working. And tonight I'm going to probably hang out with a friend for dinner and then grab an early night. And I go, great, enjoy yourself. I'm having a human-to-human interaction on here, but I don't know if Paula's real. I don't know. I'm texting with somebody I'm having this human interaction, but I don't know if she's real, right? You don't either all day long. And so the deal is that as long as we're having a human interaction, we're willing to engage. And that's what we have discovered in the last year with people working with great chatbots. Now, let me be clear. There's a lot of garbage on the marketplace, okay? We have sifted and separated the most powerful, profound tool. Like you see the cloning platform that I showed you, there's a lot of garbage cloning going on out there. We have either designed, created, or deployed, or we show you just the best tools in the world that make the difference. Because nobody's going to work with crapola. If you're engaging and it doesn't feel real, you don't engage with it. You don't like that experience. Well, the tools that we teach you do, and that's what happened for this company. They created a chat bot where people could chat with Karen's AI, and she charged $1 a minute to her audience. In the first week, she made 71 grand, and she's on par now to make $5 million a month with people chatting to her chatbots. What? It's getting pretty weird, guys. It's getting pretty weird, ladies. It's getting crazy. In fact, it's being implemented into everything from physical therapy to premium chatbots on websites and auto attendance. We can build your websites now in like 30 minutes and your landing pages. We can summarize more so you can learn faster than ever. Fashion's changing, TV's changing, products are changing, marketing campaigns, the wine industry, the shopping industry, the code industry. We've got AI CEOs. We've got the search bots are changing, the personal fragrances, virtual reality, burger making, even farming and pillows are changing. We got pillows now that change texture and change temperature while you're sleeping because they're using AI technologies. That is unbelievable. And the bottom line is, if you're a pillow maker and your competitors just put AI into their pillows and they're making them cheaper and better than yours, everybody's going to go buy their pillows and no longer yours. So who's implementing all this stuff? And then let's see how they implement it. Well, pretty much everybody, but coaches, consultants, speakers, digital product creators, practitioners, real estate agents. These are all the people we've been training over the last year. Over 300,000 have come through our programs. You probably see yourself on that screen. Tell me real quickly before we move on, who here sees your career or your industry on that screen? How many of you here see somebody on that screen? Something in your world, you're like, wait a second, that's mine, that's mine. Just put me in there. You see me. Yeah, backup publishers. Absolutely. That's under the digital product creators. Digital publishers. And yeah, book publishers as well. Andres, that would be under digital product. Well, you're right, though. We actually have a lot of e-commerce. We should add that to my list here. You're right. That's a very good point. Okay, so let's start looking at how companies are leveraging themselves and how they're doing that. I'm going to introduce you to my wife, Alessia, who teaches some of our programs together with me, serial entrepreneur. And I'm not going to introduce you to Alessia. I'm going to introduce you to her clone because she's off doing things for fun right now, hanging out with the kiddos. We homeschool our kids, so she hangs out with them. Instead of being busy at work, she's busy enjoying her life while she puts me to work. All right, here we go.
Hi, this is Alessia Minkus. Artificial intelligence has completely revolutionized the world. In fact, I'm not actually Alessia Minkus. I'm a clone of Alessia Minkus. This process made possible by artificial intelligence is simply amazing because it saves me a massive amount of time and energy to be able to create videos for marketing, instruction, or any other use in a matter of minutes. I don't need a studio. I don't need to take time to get ready for the video, and I can easily and effortlessly make it perfect by just typing the script I want to use. This is really a miracle, and at Industry Rockstar Studios, we are helping entrepreneurs and business owners globally harness the technology of artificial intelligence into their business workflows. Let's get started together, and I'll show you a magical world of amazing tools, options, and possibilities. You will learn how you can use artificial intelligence to increase your lead generation, sales conversion, speed up your product development, marketing campaign development, automate repetitive and creative tasks to free up more time, personalize your messaging in videos and audio, and much more to help you and your team succeed faster, cheaper, and better than ever before. Let's take a deeper dive together now.
Pretty amazing. Okay, let's dive in. So how are companies utilizing these technologies and how can you utilize them too? Let's dive in deep. Now, I want to just give you a quick kind of disclaimer here. What I'm about to show you is going to blow your mind. And so I'm going to show you a lot of things that we're using, a lot of the tools that we're using and that we're invested in that are a big deal for the companies, and many things we do during our sprints, okay? And the idea of this next section is to really expand your mind into what's possible so you understand. Because what we've learned is that if people don't even understand what's possible or what tools they can actually use, they don't even understand what they should be doing or what kind of activities they should be taking. And therefore, they continue to do the wrong things or put their attention in the wrong areas. That's why this is so important. And let's get going. So the first category I want you to write down that's going to be important for you to understand is conversational AI tools. Conversational AIs basically handle all the different conversations that are going on that are taking up your time all day long. This includes, we have AI technologies that we teach you about outreach, how to do outreach, and I'll show you some of that in just a minute. How to actually nurture and develop relationships with prospects, how to pre-qualify them before they ever hit your calendar, and how to book appointments on your calendar, all pre-qualified. So you're getting high quality meetings booked on your calendar all through bots. We also, these conversational AIs are handling our customer service, all of our admin, internal training. It's helping onboard our clients, helping train and onboard new staff at our company. Auto attendance is answering the phones and engaging at a very, very human-like level. We even have some that are doing outgoing and sales calls, but I won't talk about those yet because I don't think they're quite good enough yet. And so we've got stuff that's just much, much, much more. In the meantime, one of the bots that we teach all of our students how to deploy is called Dante. It's a very powerful AI custom chatbot, and it's trained on your own data. So we show you how to start taking data out of your company and yourself. You know, all day long, you're creating data for yourself if you didn't know, and you're probably letting it slip through your hands. But data is one of the most valuable assets you have today. So if you've never learned how to actually capture your own data, we're going to show you exactly how to be doing that, and then how to train up these chatbots with it. In the meantime, this allows you to deploy your chatbot anywhere you want, from sending people a link to integrating into any app that you use, so that you don't have to handle all that time-consuming conversations anymore. You can simply have your chatbots manage all that and respond. And it plugs into any app that you use, from Gmail to Salesforce, your CRM systems, LinkedIn, Slack, you name it, any of your e-commerce sites, Facebook, WordPress, all that. And it does it in pretty much any language. It's available in over 100 different languages. So things like that, and chatbots and conversational AIs is one of the technology platforms and tools and categories we train you in. What does that do for you? Well, it helps increase your leads, and it helps give you qualified leads to book a meeting. That's what BAM stands for, book a meeting, okay? Because if there's anything you want as a business owner, is you want more highly qualified leads booked on your calendar or your sales team's calendar all day long. Let me show you a couple of examples here in more specific examples. This is a company we recently invested in called SalesStack. SalesStack plugs right into our LinkedIn platform, and I'll share with you how we do this on LinkedIn. So SalesStack goes out and it analyzes everybody in our network, and can actually even use Sales Navigator, so it can go beyond our network. And it can review everybody's profile on Sales Navigator that's in our world. It then can create personalized hooks to go out and reach out to groups. So for example, who do I see in here? I see Mel Nelson on here, right? So let's say Mel, let's say I go out to Mel, and my AI bot goes out and it scans Mel's profile. And it says Mel's been in the financial industry for 20 years, and Mel loves sports on the weekends because Mel loves to, ride horses and play tennis and whatever. Okay, and I'm just making that up. I have no idea who Mel is or what Mel's background is. But the point is that then my AI bot will create a personalized hook to go out and engage Mel in a conversation. So it'll say, hey, Mel, I reviewed your profile. I'm really impressed. I love the fact that you've been in financial for so long. And we're working on a new project where we're looking for people like you who have big sports enthusiasts and can merge that with the financial industry. I'd love to talk to you more about what we're up to. Would you be open to having a conversation? Because it's a personalized hook, Mel responds back. And just so you know the difference, when you do general copy paste with general messaging in social media, you get around a 1-2% response rate on average. We are getting between 60 and 65% response because these are personalized hooks. Now, Mel writes back and says, well, I don't know, what's the project? And then our bot can engage Mel in a human-like conversation back and forth to pre-qualify Mel, and then get Mel booked on our calendar if Mel is the right person to be talking about whatever we're doing. In the background, while I'm doing this, while I'm talking to you, I've got appointments getting booked on we have a dozen sales staff here at our company. So, but if I want them booked to me, I talk to the joint venture partners. So I've got bots on LinkedIn right now that are out hooking in people throughout all different networks and booking them on my calendar for joint venture and promotional partnership conversations all day long. Automated. How many of you here would love to get more automated leads and high quality meetings booked on your calendar all day long while you're doing other stuff, making money or having fun? Yes, 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 yes. I understand. That's very, very, very cool. In the meantime, let me share with you the next bot that we love. This is called TradeTech, and TradeTech is another company we invested in. TradeTech does a similar thing, but it does it on the phones, okay? It does it, which is if you have a phone number, it can reach out to anybody through the phone, through text. It does it through text. Pretty cool. Everybody on your CRM, everybody in your phone book, it can reach out to them. You know what we're using this for? To re-engage all of those leads that have been doing nothing in your database, right? Okay, so now it reaches out. Now I'll pick somebody else. John, I see John Lawrence on here. So John, I reached out to John. Hey, John, we were doing a 50% discount on our courses for April. Would you like to get involved in them? John writes back, well, I'm a B2B consultant and I need leads. Can you help me with that? And then the bot engages back and forth in a human-like form. Hey, John, tell me more about the challenges you're having. Well, I'm not doing well with this. Oh, of course, we got a course that can do this. Should I book you in with our sales team? Okay, sure. And it does all that in the background automatically. This is a miracle. We just installed this into Grant Cardone's company, and that tripled their high qualified leads and reduced their costs by 1/3 in just a few weeks. Amazing. But we take you through other things. We help you understand how you can put chatbots into anything like WhatsApp or Messenger or Facebook or anything. We even watch this. This is about to drop. Real-time avatars are about to be here. What? That means we can merge your LLM, your clones, and you can now have real-time answers to any questions, customer service, admin, coaching, consulting, or anything. How does that work? Check this out. I can simply drop in a question. This is a demo avatar, and it will respond to me in real time about my question. Watch this.
Implement AI-powered task automation, use AI for data analysis and decision support, and leverage AI for personalized recommendations and predictive insights.
Wait a second. Can AI also plan all my trips as well? I drop in that question, and the AI real-time answers me.
Yes, AI can help you plan your trips by providing personalized recommendations for travel destinations, accommodations, and activities based on your preferences and past travel history.
What's going to happen when your competitors in coaching, consulting, e-commerce, affiliate marketing have real-time avatars on their site so that their customers can ask them questions and get real-time brand-oriented answers, meaning they connect with your brand? You're not using it, you're going to be left behind. It's very, very simple. And we've already been seeing that for the last year. Okay, but that's just increasing leads. Let's go on from there. How about all the content and the creative that you have to create? Well, oh my gosh. There's so much of it if you want to be reaching out between emails and blogs and pictures and videos. No problem. We got all that handled. As you know, we'll show you and we'll give you prompts on how to be creating world-class email chains on that, and of course, conversion rate optimized posts. But we'll also show you how to create blogs and use tools like Jasper and use video tools like Synthesia to create content for your social media so you don't have to be endlessly trying to film things. Want to be able to be getting eye-stopping images for your presentations, pitch decks, or your social media? No problem. We're going to show you how to prompt engineer Midjourney, DALL-E, Stable Diffusion, Leonardo Neo, and many others so that you can get absolute clarity and absolute specificity in all the images and all the stories you want to tell. Want to be able to learn how to create conversion rate optimized social posts? We'll show you the tools that help you do that. Want to generate videos from scratch? No problem, because if you want to be able to tell the story of your recent meeting downtown where you closed a big deal, but you don't want to have to get on video, we'll show you how to be able to be prompt engineering and which tools to be using to be getting the exact video you want to tell the story that you want. This is becoming a personalized world where if you're not staying up with telling the exact stories you want, you're missing out on all this opportunity. Whether you want to create a podcast, whether you want to create audiobooks, we'll show you how to do that. We're going to show you tools that we use to create and edit our podcasts and our videos, like this one.
So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of like non-chicken nuggets. So these nuggets are made from chicken, but they're made to emulate the taste of non-chicken nuggets.
Learn how to use these editing tools so you can zoom quickly, learn how to get these things done, learn how to build your audiobooks.
I want to create an audiobook to publish or sell.
I'll show you how to clone your voice or to use AI avatar generated clones to create audiobooks.
This is perfect if I want to create an audiobook to publish or sell.
And these voices are amazing, but do it in another language if you want. How about this?
I fuori campo di ieri non vincono le partite di oggi.
Perfect language. This is a breakthrough, and the ability to use avatar voices has become so good it's indistinguishable from human content. But let's go to conversion. How can these tools help you increase your conversion and make more money? Well, very, very simply. This is a tool that we recently invested in. It's called Xero. And Xero is an app that listens to your sales conversations, records everything, and then compares it against the best converting sales conversations on the planet and the templates and models, and then gives you feedback on how you can convert better. What? How about this one? Here's another company we recently invested in, Dialpad. This is a company where you can do role playing with sales or negotiation before you go into an important event. That increases your conversion greatly by having handled all the objections already. How about this one? Here's another tool we'll show you how to use and trick out for your system, which is called Poise. It gives you feedback on how you're speaking and presenting. So when you're doing meetings with people one-on-one to close them into your high-ticket offers or services, or you're giving presentations and webinars, this will give you immediate feedback on your pacing, your energy, your filler words. If you're not asking enough questions, it'll tell you. If you're not telling enough stories, it will tell you. And then it can actually use what's called sentiment analysis to analyze the other person's conversation and let you know where their emotions are at. I mean, this stuff is limitless and unbelievable. On from there, how about to rapidly launch products and do new product launches to the marketplace? Cool, no problem. Want to get an ebook done? We can get that done in about 10 minutes. Then you put the human in the loop, you adjust it, add some stories, and in 20 minutes, you're done with your ebook and your lead magnets. Want to write a book? No problem. In 15 minutes, we can get hundreds of pages written. You then spend a couple of hours with the human in the loop, adding in your stories and adjusting, and you got yourself your book done. Want to write a speech? No problem. You can generate your speech in about 15 minutes. And after that, you put your human in the loop, and an hour later, you got your keynote presentation or your pitch. How about this one? Want to create a digital product? There's another company we recently invested in called Course Factory. In 12 minutes, you can get an entire digital product created for you. It can use your book. It can use your ebook. It can use an interview. It can use a form. You could just put in your ideas, and it will create the whole thing for you. You go in and you edit it, human in the loop, and you got yourself a digital product with video, audio, quizzes, test, and everything ready to be deployed on learning management systems in just about 12 minutes. And by the way, don't worry about what language it's in because it doesn't matter. You can have it translated to any language you want. Now, what I'm about to show you is not a clone. It is a video of me talking to the camera and then using AI technology to put myself into any language I want. Watch this. The power of artificial intelligence today is creating a world where there are no boundaries due to languages. Il potere dell'intelligenza artificiale oggi sta creando un mondo in cui non ci sono confini a causa delle lingue. La IA rompe barreras idiomáticas y crea un mundo sin límites de lenguaje en la actualidad. Die Kraft der künstlichen Intelligenz schafft heute eine Welt, in der es aufgrund von Sprachen keine Grenzen mehr gibt. Le pouvoir de l'intelligence artificielle aujourd'hui crée un monde sans frontières grâce aux langues. 人工智能的力量正在创造一个没有语言障碍的。I know what you're saying. I know what you're thinking. I know what you're thinking here. Oh my gosh, that guy's so sexy in French. I'm just kidding. I know what you're thinking. Now I can put my products into any language across the world and have great rapport because it's not dubbed and I don't need to spend any money or time on it. It just gets done. I've been giving presentations and selling products now in French, Italian, German, and Spanish. And I used to have to pay tens of thousands to get them done. Now they're peanuts. A couple $100, we got the entire product put in. An entire product. You want to do a video or two? You got it. I've been sending videos in other languages to promoters and organizers. We just closed an entire tour in South America with Tony Robbins because the organizer didn't speak English, spoke Spanish. Sent them a video, everything in Spanish. Mind-blowing, isn't it? How many think this is mind-blowing? And by the way, in case that didn't blow your mind, if you ever want to create a video sales letter or a scripted marketing thing, no problem. We'll show you how to create scripts out of the prompts that we give you in ChatGPT, and then you can read it off the screen. Well, if you wanted to read a script off of the screen and get it right, get it 100% accurate, so you have the highest conversion, we used to have to go to studios, use teleprompters. It used to cost us thousands of dollars to run studios and editing and all that. Not anymore. Now we've got tools that can eye correct you. How about this? This guy's reading a script right off the screen with a little snap of our fingers, and AI magic, we can eye correct him so he's now looking right into the camera. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But let's go on from there. I got a few more categories. How many of you are enjoying this, by the way? Who's getting a lot? Your brain is going bonkers. You're like, oh my gosh, this is amazing. Just tell me that in the chat window. Tell me if you're going completely mind-blowing. I love it. Okay, some of you guys love my humor. Good. I'm very dry humor, so you have to get used to it. Okay. Yeah, I know. And John says a little bit of information overload. I understand. That's why I preface this. I'm giving you a lot. I mean, I'm doing a very short amount of time. What we do in our sprints is we slow everything down. We train you on these things, and you learn to implement them and use them, you know, in an amazing way. I want you to understand what's going on because there's so much that's going on. We got to go past ChatGPT, ladies and gentlemen. I mean, ChatGPT is just scratching the surface of this whole industry, and that's why people are so excited. Okay, great. I got a couple more categories, so let's keep plowing forward. In creating your marketing, I know marketing's always been a big sticking point for everybody. They say, yeah, I can't get my stuff out. I don't know how to build websites or landing pages or sales pages. No problem. We get this stuff done now in like 5 to 10 minutes. We can create stunning landing pages with our AI tools. We can get your sales pages and your forms up. Everything goes up fast, easy. You do a little description and it creates it. You do a little editing and you're done. We can get your sites now SEO optimized. We can have your landing pages conversion rate optimized by AI tools. It all gives you feedback. Every single major platform and marketing platform in the world is integrating AI tools. You better learn how to use them. Okay, 2 last categories. These are 2 big game changers, so pay close attention. Every company in the world understands that when you personalize your marketing, you end up much, much, much more successful with it. So personalize your customer experience. Now we can clone your voice in just a few seconds, and we can send out personalized videos of you so that you can make the video one time, change whatever variable you want in the video, and it will then multiply and personalize your marketing at scale. This is a game changer. You can do it in video, or you can do it in voicemail. Send a voicemail out to 15, 20, 50, 100, 200 people all at the same time. Save yourself the time. Learn how to do this and how to just quickly engineer it so that you can very simply do that. And I'll show you a quick example. So let's say I see Bob is on here, Bob Curtis. And so I go, hey, Bob, this is Kane from the web class today. It was great to see you, and I look forward to seeing you in the AI-assisted entrepreneur sprint. Good. Well, that's my voice message. I type it in there as my text, and now it converts it into a voice, right? And now I can change whatever variable I want. I can change Bob to anything. I can import a list of all the contacts from this web class, John and Jenny and Jeff and whomever, and then it will recraft the voice and the voice message to all these different people. That means I can personalize my marketing at scale. This is unheard of and it changes the game. We've been doing this now for about 6 months, and it has increased our lead gen, our repeat buying, and our conversion by over 600%. It's been crazy, right?
The web class today.
It just keeps changing.
Hey, Mike, this is Kane Minkus from the web class today.
Right? Hey, James, and so forth. Now, that's not my voice clone. I used a regular avatar in there just to show you that. Last category, automate time-consuming, essential BS activities that you're constantly involved in your business. Look, you are busy. We want you to be rich. And if you want to get rich, you need to stop being busy and get rich. Besides the fact that there's nothing fulfilling about data entry and making invoices and having to chase people all the time and rescheduling meetings. There's no value in it, and it's not fulfilling you. I know that. Now, let me give you an example of how you can start to automate essential time-consuming activities. One of the things that I hate is email. I get 200 to 300 emails every day from all of our staff, our investors, my private clients, colleagues. There's people I need to answer, right? It takes me about 2 hours a day to answer 200 emails. So what I used to do is I used to put the kids to sleep with my wife. We have 3 kids. And then we go sit down on the couch and we turn on Netflix and I start answering all these emails for 2 hours. I hated it. Every night I would do that for 5 days a week because I had to respond to people. Well, as soon as I saw what was going on with AI tools back in January 2022, or 2023 rather, I took my Gmail account and I hooked it up to my ChatGPT account. I trained it how I talk and how I think and how I communicate, very fast to get that done. And now my Gmail emails for over a year now have been going to my ChatGPT and getting answered by ChatGPT. Then it puts it back into the drafts folder. Don't get nervous. It doesn't send it out before you read it. And at the end of the day now, I sit down and I read all the answered emails by ChatGPT. And I can go through them in about 20 minutes. I go, yep, send, yep, send, yep, send. Oh no, I got to change the date on that. That made no sense. Change that, and I can send this stuff all out. That saves me an hour and a half a day to do essential activities that I have to do. Do you know what an hour and a half a day is, ladies and gentlemen? It's a day a week. You know what a day a week is? It's a month a year. It gives me back an entire month, and this is from one automation. We're going to be taking you through how to automate your entire business, which is awesome. And check this out. If you have not been introduced to the world of automation yet, let me introduce you. When you automate something, it's officially called an RPA, or a robotic process automation. But automations have been around a long time, 20 plus years in the marketing world. What's just taken a giant leap forward is AI intelligent workflows. So we show you not only how to automate, but actually how to use AI to build AI intelligent workflows. And you'll learn how to use AI tools to hook them up to each other and how to hook them up to any system you're using, so that through APIs, which are very simple, don't get nervous, we make everything very simple. Through APIs, you're going to be able to actually have them answer or engage in any other application that you're involved in. Not to mention things like Copilot and Gemini are already worked into the workspaces, and they can start to do some of this stuff already. You just have to be trained in how it all works. We do that over 12 weeks. It's very simple, and people love it. You know what you get from that? You get your life back. You know what RPAs give you freedom from? Repetitive administrative tasks like email, data entry, boring, rescheduling and reminders, boring, invoice creation and sending, client employee onboarding, boring, social media, you know you hate it. Social media, all the management of Facebook's answering all you put up a video and then somebody starts saying, oh, look at her, she's so fat. And you're like, oh my gosh, I got to waste my time talking to idiots. This stuff does it for you. Research, data analysis, data scraping, evaluating where there are market gaps, quality assurance, contracts analysis, process, all the things that you've been doing, travel arrangements and everything, all that can get handled and done. In fact, I was recently in Silicon Valley meeting with one of my friends who's a top guy at AWS. And he said, Kane, you know what? I'll tell you what's coming down the pike this year. You know what's going to get released? Tools that will make you realize that everything that we teach our kids in school that makes them think it's intelligence can all be done better, faster, and cheaper by technologies. That means you too. If you grew up in an educational system in the past, you have learned things that AI technologies will all be able to do, which is why we've seen over 900 million jobs globally displaced. Until those people learn how to use AI tools, they're going to be replaced by people that can use AI technologies. So there you have it. Tell me which one of these incredible areas, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, which one of these gives you the most chills up your spine to use in your business? Just drop that in the chat window for me. I want to see which one of these gets you the most excited. All of them. Content creation. increasing conversions, campaign development, content, all of it, rapidly launching courses. Okay, great. I'm glad you guys are getting how incredible this stuff really is. Now, there was a gentleman that I know well, Peter Diamandis, worked with him at Singularity Group. And Peter said this great quote: there's gonna be two types of companies at the end of the decade, those that fully use AI and those that are gone. And I totally believe that. In fact, I want to share a couple of fun stories with you about exactly that. Now, people ask me all the time, Kane, why are you so passionate about AI technologies truly? Well, I'm passionate about them because they're generating a tremendous amount of opportunity. But I'll share some really great stories with you. In 2007, I started teaching entrepreneurs how to grow their businesses with transformational technologies. Very quickly, I started getting invited around the planet to speak on stages with Robert and Kim Kiyosaki and Tony Robbins and such. Robert then invested in our company in 2009 and took him on tours around the planet. So just about every week I was standing in a stadium of 3, 5, or 10,000. I did that for about 10 years, until 2020 rather, 2020, when COVID kind of shut down live events. And every week I was out there presenting and I was traveling across the world. And you know what I noticed? Many times I was standing in rooms where people couldn't understand English. Here I am in Italy, where I was standing in Italy, and I was with my business partner at that time, my speaking partner. His name was Jeff. And we were speaking to this audience where nobody could understand us, and we couldn't understand them because we didn't speak the language. And I was very frustrated because although I could teach them in a group with expensive translators in the back of the room, what I couldn't do is I couldn't talk to them after that. So I couldn't serve them. I couldn't do anything to help them until now. Last year, we discovered a technology that we invested in called Wordly. Wordly is a technology that does live translations, and we plug it right into Zoom, and it allows us to live translate all of our sessions so that people can not only hear, but they can actually also read what we're talking about in any language they want. Now I'm giving webinars in French. I'm giving webinars in Romanian. Look at this.
I'll stop talking. And Ozana, can you say something in
This
Romanian?
is a client of ours who's speaking to me in Romanian, and I can understand what she's saying.
Eu mă bucur tare mult că ne-am întâlnit aici și că am înțeles.
While she's talking, I'm able to read and hear what she's saying, which is pretty amazing. And then I can speak in English and she can hear what I'm saying. So check this out.
So what I read is, yes,
Da,
I'm very glad
sunt
that we
foarte
met here
bucuros
and
că
that I
ne-am
wanted to
întâlnit
understand
aici
all
și că
these
sunt alături de tine.
Just consider the power of you being able to be in any market in the world, translated live in person, two-way. You can talk to people, you can run group coaching sessions, community sessions, you can do deals. We've been raising capital from investors from all over the world. It is literally opening up the entire world. But at that event in Italy, I stepped off stage and I ran into this gorgeous woman and I saw her, our eyes locked. And I went, that is the woman for me. And I walked up to her and I said, did you like the presentation? And she looks at me and she says, huh? Because she didn't understand English. And I could see her little headphones around her neck. And then she says to me something in Italian. And I went, huh? Because I didn't understand Italian. And we realized in that moment we couldn't talk to each other. So we just hugged in tight, took a quick picture. And then my business partner says, do something. She's bored. So I picked her up and she laughed. She didn't know what was going on. She couldn't understand anything. And yet we used AI technologies to learn each other's language. And 6 months later, we could speak each other's language. 18 months later, we were getting engaged to get married. And a year later, we were ready to have our first child. So we used AI technologies to bridge the gap between our own communications. And I think that AI technologies, they really bring us together. Okay. In the meantime, and John asks, is there more than just education on AI? Yes, we actually have an entire done for you team that can implement and design all that, John. That'd be something we should talk about offline, because one of the things we've learned is it's very important that you at least go through a bit of education yourself. If you're really certain you just want our teams to come in and implement, and we do this a lot in enterprises. We've been working with Siemens and Visa and Procter & Gamble and all these enterprise companies to implement it, Tony's companies, all this kind of stuff. And if you just want us to implement it, we can. But I really highly recommend you get educated on it first, because it'll expand your own strategic use of it, is how I look at it. In the meantime, Alessia used AI tools to become a beautiful English speaker, but she kept that gorgeous, sexy Italian accent. And in the meantime, I asked her to start teaching with me around the planet. And if it wasn't for AI tools, she would have never been able to learn English so fast. She became one of the top entrepreneur trainers on the planet. She was then sought out by all sorts of great brands and people for us to be speaking together. So we're the only couple that does this on the planet, husband and wife, male and female, European and American. Nobody else on the planet brings such global perspective to how to use these tools to go across the world. And after all these years of working with all these famous brands, doing all sorts of great projects, we always did one thing. We always included the kids. That's why you saw my son, interestingly enough, came in for a hug while I was giving this webinar. We always include the kids. We include them in our life. We homeschool the kids, and we teach them all about AI technologies because they have been using it in amazing ways. Let me share with you a couple amazing things because they're pretty inspiring, these kids, and they get it at a level that that we will never get it, because it's going to be woven into the fabric of their lives. So I have a 14-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 4-year-old. And I'll talk about the 2 older kids because they're the ones kind of doing some interesting stuff. This is a little bit of an older picture. They're a little bit older than this now. But here's the deal. You'll learn as we spend more time together. I was a showbiz kid. I grew up in showbiz. So by 5 years old, I was in acting and commercials and TV and film. And then I started in music, and I became a record producer. So I've been in media a long time. My daughter, who's a 9-year-old, she decided to follow my footsteps in performance and entertainment. And so by 2 years old, she was dancing, and by 4 or 5 years old, she was competing and performing. She became a award-winning competitive dancer. And then about 5 or 6 years old, she says, Dad, I want to be a pop star. I want to be the next Taylor Swift or Ariana Grande. And I said, okay, honey, well, let's do it, because if you want it, we can get it done. That's my world. Hey, guys, if you want it done, we'll get it done. And so I said, but you got to learn a bunch of stuff, love. I said, you got to learn piano. You got to learn how to write music. You got to learn how to sing and all this stuff. She said, well, how can I get that done? You're too busy all day long working to teach me all of that stuff, although I can teach her some of it, and I do. In the meantime, I introduced her to a whole bunch of AI technologies that can help her learn how to write music, how to create beats, which shows her how to actually tune her voice. She learned to sing. She learned to play piano. She learned how to arrange things, and she started writing songs. She wrote, by 8 years old, 10 songs. She's been is now performing, put together a whole performance set, and she's been performing around. She's been featured at Disneyland 3 times. She's performed for the Phoenix Suns, which is a professional NBA team. She's been doing halftime shows for them twice in front of 20,000 people. And this is a conference that she did. In fact, she's coming with us next week. We're doing an event with John Maxwell in Nashville, and she's going to be performing at the charity concert. By 8 and 9 years old, here she is, 8 years old, using AI to build her entire performances and her concerts. Watch her in the silver dress here.
You don't run away from you know about me and I can take it for a run. I had a conversation, I felt you had running in this don't stop for night. This is the part when I say I don't want I'm sure.
No, I'm definitely a proud papa, but the point here is that she's been using AI tools to build her shows. She actually just got picked up by a very top artist development company who's training her for a tour, and they're working on getting her signed to a record label right now. I mean, this is what's going on for her because she used these tools to get ahead fast. But my older son said, wait a second, I can't let my sister have all the fun. Dad, I want to make money. I said, well, what would you like to do? He says, well, I'm not outgoing. I'm kind of shy. I'm not like my sister Rania. I don't want to be singing or performing. I said, well, what would you like to do? He says, well, I'd like to make money online. And I said, well, what do you like? And he says, well, I like dogs. Can I do something with dogs? I said, sure, why not? So we use the AI technology tools that I teach you during the sprint, how to be able to identify gaps in the marketplace. There's all sorts of AI tools that can show you what kind of gaps are in the marketplace, where are people putting their attention, what are people buying, how do you price validate, all that kind of stuff. This is all done for you. Companies and large corporations don't rely on opinions or a lot of random testing. They rely on these technologies and these tools and data, and we show you that. So what did we discover? We discovered there was no high-end dog baskets in the marketplace. So he used AI tools to develop a logo, develop all of his landing pages, his e-commerce store. It then suggested a particular type of product. He then built it in real life, a high-end dog basket. And in 6 months, he sold 10,000 of these online to customers in the US only and shipped them out. He then sold this e-commerce store for $50,000, roughly about $48,000, to a retail store locally that wanted to buy it for him from his customer database and his system. And now what he does at 14 years old is he helps dear old dad, and he builds some workflows for our clients. He builds AI workflows for our companies. I mean, amazing, huh? Pretty unbelievable. So guys, if the kids can do this stuff, you'll learn it and you'll do it. They're super sharp, but you are too. Plenty good. And this is the kids. And the fun thing is we can take these tools and technologies with us anywhere in the world. And we've used them all over the world. We live part of the year on an island called Sardinia in Italy, because my wife is, of course, originally from Italy. And we use these tools to build our villa in Italy. So here's our villa in Italy. We use these tools to work with the architects to interior design the villa and to actually build it. These are not renders. These are photographs of our place. And then we've used it to build, because we live the other part of the year in Costa Rica, where we're building out our place right now in Costa Rica. And we've used AI technologies to completely design and build out the entire idea of our houses and tools and work with our architects on it. Now, I'm not showing you these homes to impress you with our wealth. We actually invite you to come join us at them. So we invite you to them. Come spend time with us. We do a mastermind, a one-day mastermind several times throughout the year with our students. We teach you online throughout the year so we can accelerate things, but we love to get together in person. So if you're listening from Europe here, come join us in Sardinia. You can come out to our Sardinia place. If you're listening here from North America, come join us at our masterminds in our house in Silicon Valley or Scottsdale or Costa Rica. Come join, and it gives us a chance to shake your hand, sit down in a small group, and actually work on strategizing how to keep blowing up your business with transformational technologies. So speaking of that, let's talk about the 5 layers to AI mastery, and we'll wrap up here shortly. First of all, there's 5 layers that I take you through in our AI assisted entrepreneur sprint. First of all, we teach you how to become aware of the tools and the technologies, because the more aware you are, the more you'll learn what they can do, and the more you'll shift what you actually do. From there, we show you how to prompt engineer them, and we give you all of our prompts. You give you, about 30,000 prompts. We then show you how to chain them together to get the output of anything you want. And then we show you how to essentially integrate them into your workflows. And finally, how to develop and deploy and train your own AIs. We take you through these 5 areas over 12 weeks. Okay, tell me which one of these 5 things gets you most excited. What gets you most excited? You want to learn more about what's going on. You want to learn how to prompt them. You want to learn how to develop them, train them. When I say develop them, I don't mean like coding develop. You learn how to use the commercial tools. Train my own, says Becca. Yeah. Get your LLMs and your chatbots. Yeah. Cool. All right, I love it. So let me give you one last story here, and then we'll wrap up, which is something that illustrates what is so true. So in 1999, I went to work as a record producer for Sony Music, and I was in New York at the Hit Factory with Puff Daddy, and I was working with, Celine Dion and Jessica Simpson, Ricky Martin, Mariah Carey, and Joe Satriani, and all these people. And in 2001, a new technology came out, and it was changing the game. But a lot of people were skeptical. They were slow. They were resistant. They weren't giving it the attention it needed. They were comfortable. And so I took this new technology to my bosses at Sony, and I said, we should use this in the studios, because right now the studios are costing $70,000 a day to use, and that's expensive. And they said, get out of here, kid. They said, Michael Jackson's never going to make a record in somebody's apartment on a laptop. Mariah Carey is never going to sing in somebody's closet and record on a laptop. Get out of here. And they were doubtful. They were skeptical. They were resistant. And I said, I think you're wrong. And I quit Sony, which was a big deal at that time because I was working with all these celebrities. And I moved out to Silicon Valley to start sleeping on my friend's couch to launch our first business. It was a production company, a music production company, where we were using these new technologies to do things what I thought would be faster, smarter, cheaper, and better. And so we tried for 6 months, and the business didn't go anywhere, not because of the tools or the technologies, but because we didn't know how to run a business. And I called up a friend at one point. I said, we need help. We're not getting anywhere. And they said, do you have a business coach? And I said, no. They said, well, you should go see this guy who gives seminars on scaling up your business. He's in the city. He's a friend of mine. Go see him. He's awesome. So I did. I walked into the seminar, this guy who was leading an event, just like we're doing today. And his name was Brian Franklin. And you wouldn't know who he is. He's not famous or anything. But his parents turned out to be pretty famous. They were actually the Franklins from the Franklin Covey connection. And so Brian was talking at the front of the room, and he said, I just sold my media company in LA to move back to San Francisco to work with my parents, who are business coaches. And I thought, this guy's perfect. Media, coaching, I want to talk to him. So I went up to him and I said, Brian, we just launched a new business. Can you help us with it? And he says, what's the business? And I opened up the laptop and I said, we're using these new technologies. And he says, oh, I was hearing about this as I was selling my company. You got to get this in front of some big people, some big name people. I said, well, I don't know any. Do you? He says, how about Steven Spielberg? Is he big enough? And I went, yeah, he's big enough. So Brian introduced us to Steven Spielberg's production team, who then said, look, we are working on a new movie with Tom Cruise called The Last Samurai, and we're just about to localize it, put it in French, Italian, German, and Spanish. If you can help us edit it so it looks like Tom speaking those languages, it's very expensive. We usually spend hundreds of thousands of dollars. If you can do it cheaper per language, we'll give it to you. So they gave us a 5-minute clip of The Last Samurai with Tom Cruise, and they gave us the French, Italian, German, and Spanish. And we used AI tools 22 years ago to be stretching the sound waves to make it look like when Tom said good morning, but the word in Italian was buongiorno, that it actually looked like he was saying buongiorno. We gave it back to them. They were so excited. Steven Spielberg got on the phone. He said, you guys got the gig. Nice job. And we did the first project we did was The Last Samurai with Steven. He was so excited. He introduced us to Robert Zemeckis, who was working on the Polar Express. And he had us do all of the editing for the Polar Express. Same thing, using those tools. He was so excited. He introduced us to George Lucas. And that was when our company really exploded. George was a futurist. He understood that if you want to make a lot of money, you figure out where the future is headed, you get there first. And that's what he did. He saw what we were doing. He saw it was the future. And he basically made us his in-house external team. And we worked on over 1,000 projects with George Lucas. We did video games with LucasArts. We did film. We did TV. We did records. We did everything you could think of. And by 26 years old, I was a multi-millionaire off of the fact that we were getting all of the work flowing in from the industry. We became the top 5 company in the world doing what we were doing in just a few years. And all of those other resistance record labels, companies, and production houses, you know what happened to them? gone. They all went out of business, and they all had to either go work for us or work for other people because they could not keep up because they were resisting the technology change. That's what's going on right now. It's very important that you take action right now because the world is shifting and changing, and I've seen it happen many times. I know you know it, but now is the time to absolutely do that. Blair says, was it GarageBand? No, it wasn't GarageBand, actually. It was actually Pro Tools that came out at that time. And I was actually one of the first people to brand ambassador live, Ableton Live, for any of those that know what those things are. In the meantime, if you're excited, I just want you to say yes in chat. If you want to future-proof your business, put a yes in that chat window. If you want to be at the cutting edge of this AI opportunity, say yes. And if you want to take advantage of this new technology, put it into your workflows and get ahead of everybody else as fast as possible before everybody starts to catch up. Say yes, yes, yes. And I see that. Blair says yes. Richard says yes. John says yes. Jakob says yes. Mel says yes. Art says yes. I got it. You know, I say to my daughter, look, you're 9 years old right now. She's super talented for now. We've been training her since she was 2. And I said, in about 4 to 5 years, everybody else is going to catch up with you because by 15, 16, 17 years old, other young ladies have had the opportunity to train. Most of them have not between 2 and 9 years old. They haven't had those opportunities. They haven't been homeschooling where all day long they're going from, vocal coach to, songwriter to script and screenwriter. So you have an opportunity right now in front of you to get ahead of everybody else. You must take advantage of it. In fact, I've learned something. I've learned that one thing about these journeys is the importance of being early. In 2001, when we started using email marketing for our first business, we started making millions with it, bringing in more clients. Nobody was doing it. In 2005, when we started using Google AdWords, nobody was using it. We started making millions with it. In 2012, when we started using Facebook ads and nobody was doing anything with it, we made tens of millions of dollars. It used to cost 30 cents to get you on webinars like this. Now it's way more expensive and more people do it, so it's more saturated. In 2020, when everybody said, "Oh, don't worry, it's just going to be a few weeks before everything goes back to normal," I said, "No way. I'm seeing some new technologies come out. I'm seeing some new things happen. I'm going to jump on this right away." And you know what we did? We immediately started implementing new technology, and we built a little live streaming room in our guest room, and we did $9 million in the first quarter. $9 million in the first quarter with a couple of cameras in our guest room. And then, of course, this has gone beyond, and we have done over $30 million from our guest room because we took advantage quickly of the pivots and the new technologies that came out during COVID. So what am I got to say about that? Very simply, people who adopt early make bank. People who don't end up playing canasta at the Holiday Inn. I took this picture. I thought it was pretty funny. All right. Don't spend your later years like this. Spend them on yachts and enjoying travel and comfort with your gorgeous homes. So if this is you, do you feel frustrated that you aren't able to get more done each day? If you feel like you want to get ahead and use this current wave, or you're feeling stuck because you want more freedom in your time, if you are bored and you just want to do more meaningful work in the world, great. Or if you feel like you had hit any point of overwhelm or you didn't understand what I was talking about, we have to work together. This is not going away. It's only going to get more and more integrated into our lives. So if you'd like a fast track through a human significant shift, an insider's fast track, if you want to take advantage of being on the earlier side of AI, you've got it. You got a window. This is the year of implementation. You got about one more year, and then everybody will be all over this. You're not going to be so unique anymore. Take advantage of it and make the money you wanted this year. Eliminate hours of time and money trying to figure this out by yourself. Don't get left behind, ladies and gentlemen. The future is AI. You got about a 6-year run. Suck as much opportunity, money out of the possibility in the industries, in the markets, and make as big of impact as you can. Reach more people than ever. Okay, that's why we designed the 12-week sprint called the AI Assisted Entrepreneur. I put almost 300,000 people through this. They have loved it. They absolutely find it amazing. I teach it personally alongside with our research team. So you get me just like this. We do it live and it's recorded for you. When you get yourself today a seat, you not only will go right into it this week and start working with us. In fact, on Friday, we've got our next session, but also you'll get all the sprint recorded from the very last session that we did. So you can move forward immediately. You don't need to wait on anything. You can get right into it. It will revolutionize your business, but don't take my word for it. Take Tom's word for it.
This course is a great course to give you an overview of how to use AI as a tool to enhance your productivity. This gives you time back as an entrepreneur. Kane gives great practical examples of how he and Alicia use AI in their businesses, and then shows us how he did it. So if you're looking to increase your knowledge about artificial intelligence as a tool to enhance your productivity, I highly recommend you check out the course.
Thanks, Tom. You just want to thank me for all that great work we did on The Last Samurai. All right, here's what you're going to get in the course and why you need to be involved in it. We're going to show you the Sexy 60, the 60 critical AIs that will AIify your entire business and will change your life. We'll train you on prompt engineering, and we give you access to our prompt platform. It's not free. It is actually about $1,000 a year, but we will give you access to it, and we give you lifetime access to it for free. So you might as well get in now. Templates to move fast, creative insights on how to chain everything together, and massively time-efficient practices. Look, bottom line is you're going to get the ability to create anything you want in record time. The question is, are you ready to start creating the output of hundreds or thousands of employees with just you and an army of AI agents? Or if you have a team, you can have a few people on your team. We'll train them all up. To learn this, we have done a lot of investing ourselves. So I've been attended 5 world-class AI technology integration implementation masterminds. Each one charged me between $10,000 and $25,000 a piece. I've got a 7-person research team that not only works with me, making sure we're up to date, but also works with our students on the forum. So you'll get access to the Facebook forum. You can ask our research team any question you want, anything you want, right? And you can get any answers you want, any workflows or anything. And I pay them around $125,000 collectively a year. I've invested 25 years in building tech companies in Silicon Valley. I've delivered hundreds of AI training sessions. I have begged my highest friends at Meta, at AWS, at Singularity, and all the different places. What's coming down the line? Make sure we're up to date. And we've spent tens of hours playing with these AIs to build you the right models and prompts. Now, let's talk about how this course rolls out because it's pretty amazing. Ready? So week 1 and 2, we get through the text category of AIs. You learn how to prompt engineer all the LLMs. You learn how to do everything from reviewing contracts, writing emails, doing posts, doing research analysis, blogs, create lead magnets, digital products, create all of your launch materials, all of your copywriting. You learn how to do that and you get professional prompts from it. Week 3 and 4, we take you through all the image AIs. We show you how to prompt engineer and how to get great images out of the AIs. So if you're doing social posting, augmenting pictures, telling stories, anything you want, you get all of that done. In the week 5 and 6, you'll learn how to use audio AIs. You'll learn how to get narrated videos, podcasts, audiobooks, personalize your voicemails. In week 7 and 8, we're going to take you through all the video AI technologies that we use. We'll show you how to create explainer videos, pitch videos, walkthroughs, video sales letters, and anything you need to do marketing or sales. Week 9 and 10, we take you through all the action AIs. We show you how to use AI agents, which are going to be a big explosion in AI agents this year. We show you how to integrate these into your workflows in building automations, RPAs, AI intelligent workflows, chatbots, and clones, and deploy those things for yourself. You'll learn how to build your own LLMs. And finally, in week 11 and 12, we'll show you how to get your life back, eliminate all the busy work, and we show you a suite of 20 different productivity tools that we're using to essentially make our world very, very, very productive. I promise you a day back a week. That's my promise to you. We will fulfill on that. Okay, great. Mel says, do we get continual access to the course? Yes, you do. Now, what I'm going to do is I'm going to do a couple of fun things. So before I share all that with you, watch this. First of all, on top of that, when you get done with this course, we're going to give you an opportunity to attend our 3-day virtual workshop called Start at the Top. We have done this around the planet over 500 times. Richard Branson has been to this event. Vishen Lakhiani has been to this event. Tony Robbins has been to this event. Whom else? Robert Kim Kiyosaki, Les Brown, you name it, Bob Proctor, they've all been to this event. This has been the quintessential event of how we've been scaling companies for the last 25 years from 0 to 8 figures a year. We do this online. My wife and I teach this live in person along with our leaders of our company, and you'll love it. And we also give you a couple tickets in case you want to bring your business partner, your husband or wife, or your teens. We've done this with the Shark Tank guys. They love this too. This is a one we did just before COVID in Zurich, Switzerland, with students all around. We had about 300 or 400 students from all around Europe there, and the Shark Tank, Kevin Harrington. Hey, it's Kane Minkus, Leslie Minkus, and Kevin Harrington live in Zurich. Say hi, Zurich. And we're just finishing our award-winning international 3-day training Start at the Top. If this weekend was one of the best weekends you've ever been to around business growth and wealth development, just say yes. Yes. If you would advise other business owners around the planet to get themselves to this event, no matter what they had to do to travel, no matter what they had to spend to get here, just say yes. Yes. Very good. Say bye. Pretty amazing, and people love it, and you will go through it. It's all done virtually now online, and it's extraordinary. We just did one a couple weeks ago with a couple thousand entrepreneurs from around the planet. It was super fun. Great networking, incredible education. We'll include that as part of the whole thing. In the meantime, here's how this event works. It takes us 12 weeks to train you on the AI technologies, and then you get a bunch of the fun bonuses, including the 3-day virtual scale-up event. All we need is 1 hour a week where we train you, and you get started right away. When you get enrolled today, you will get registered and you can get access to our member site where you have all the sprints recorded for you. And you can join us live if you like that, so you can ask any questions you want. I teach them personally, and then once a week we get together for Q&A. Our students ask us any questions, implementation questions, detailed questions. And that way, if you're more advanced and you want to get into more advanced stuff, we can answer all your questions to get you into more advanced stuff. You get all the trainings in the engineering. You get now almost 30,000 prompts, templates, the Facebook community where our entire research team is on there. All of that costs us to serve you $19,000. But we're going to give you a couple extra bonuses. As I mentioned earlier, you have to build your personal brand or people will not know what's real or what's not. So we're going to give you an award-winning course that we have called Personal Branding with AI. It's a 6-week course. I wrote a first best-selling book on this course, and it's gone around the planet. We'll give this to you. It's a $1,500 course that we sold forever. I'll give it to you as a bonus so that it helps you understand how to build your personal brand. And finally, of course, you get to come spend a day with us in person at one of our homes around the planet as our students from this course get together throughout the year and we go through strategy and we go way beyond even AI tools into how to strategize your success and your wealth. Our students love this. And of course, we charge 25 grand a day to do this with companies privately, which we do all the time. And so you'll come join us at one of our places. But don't worry, if you don't want to travel, don't want any extra expense to travel there or be there, no problem. We live stream everything, even from our homes and our masterminds. So you can always participate in everything. You always get everything. It's all recorded. You can never miss anything. We've been doing this for 17 years. So we know exactly how to serve you and make sure you're taken care of. So you get the 12-week sprint, the trainings, the prompts, the access to the prompt library, the templates for the assets, the Facebook community with the researchers, the 2 tickets to Start at the Top live virtually done online in June, the 6-week branding masterclass, the private one-day mastermind. This is over $47,500 of training, education, technology, prompt libraries, consulting, coaching, masterminds, and everything. Now you can take it with us, or there's a couple other places you can take some AI courses, right? At this quality level, there's very little going on the planet like this anywhere. I don't care what you've seen. Once you get into it, you'll realize it's a different level of quality than what everybody else is even talking about. But the level of quality we're talking about is on par with the Harvard courses. And this is okay. It's about $6,500 for this course. It's a little bit technical for my taste. I have taken it. The MIT course is also a very high quality course. It's also a little bit more technical than really for entrepreneurs, but it was cool. We picked up some good things. This is $3,200, right? And in the meantime, you could take it from us. You don't need to invest $47,500. We actually don't even care. We just want you to cover the cost of the program. That's it. $597 will get you in this program. And because of that, we only take 50 students. Now, I'm going to have my team drop in the link to this. Please, I suggest right now you go grab this opportunity. We've got about 90 of you on here, and we had hundreds of you register that Ron is going to then send this out to as soon as we wrap up here. You should have seen that link drop into the chat window there. I hope I did that right. Ron, can you help me understand if I'm doing this correctly with dropping it into everybody here? But that's the place to go get it. And I'm about to drop some cool additional stuff. So please take the moment right now to click on that link and open it up on your laptop and get your seat. Here's the deal. I'm going to 100% guarantee that you're not only going to love this course, but you're going to make money in it. It's basically impossible not to. Here's how, okay? You're going to either increase the amount of leads coming into your business, even if you're an affiliate marketer, it doesn't matter whether you're coaching, consulting, training, educating, product company, technology, you will have an influx of leads by using this stuff. You're going to increase the conversion, or you're going to see people buying more stuff from you. So your average purchase is going to be more, or the frequency to which they're buying from you is going to go up. You're going to get a lot more. And I'm promising you that you will, if you apply and engage in this, you will find that you will make your money back immediately. I'll guarantee it. In fact, I want to do something fun for Ron. This is the first time Ron and I have worked together. And Ron said, look, my community is really awesome. They like good stuff. And he vetted us and knew that it's good stuff. So when you get yourself your seat before the end of this web class, which we'll wrap up here in just a couple minutes, we'll give you an extra $100 off just for good measure, and for you to just literally just make this a no-brainer. $497, that's all we're talking about here for you to get all that stuff. 12 weeks of training live, 3 days of scaling up your business, 6 weeks of branding, access to our prompt library, a day in person with myself and my wife. This is uncanny. It doesn't exist like this anywhere on the planet. Our students say they're getting something like 100x return on this. Is it worth it? It's not only worth it, it's critical. The ultimate skill of the 21st century is to be able to talk to these bots, and I think you deserve it. Now, if you have any questions about this, drop them in now, and I'll answer your questions as we're wrapping up here. But I just want to let you know that the applications to this is just limited by your imagination. And one of the coolest things about our community, because it's such an engaged and active community, is watching people, what they're doing with all these tools and things we're teaching them. And so you get to see how entrepreneurs are using this day in and day out in their businesses. $497, fun deal for you right now. The whole bundle just covers our costs. Nothing to, we're not in the business of selling education. What we do is we get to meet entrepreneurs. We do this all on Zoom, by the way. It's a little bit more interactive. Everybody's got their cameras up. We run it in our studios here. It's all professionally designed, audio and video. You'll love it. And look, I know you may have arrived here today. You had no idea you were going to get involved in another course or work with us because you hadn't heard of us before. No problem. I understand nothing new feels comfortable until you jump in. And once you do, you will absolutely feel extraordinary that you're taking your future into your own hands. I know we've got a couple students on here as well who've already participated in these things like Lise and such, who are saying it's worth every penny. Absolutely. It is absolutely worth it. Hey, want to know what all the top tier billionaires are doing right now? Well, I know 3 of these guys out of the 4. They're all very different, very, very different personalities and values. In the meantime, they're all doing the same thing right now. They're investing in AI technologies. So you got 3 options. You could do nothing about this and just say, well, that was nice. In which case, nothing will happen for you. And that's kind of insane, understanding how no-brainer this opportunity is and how important this technology is for you. You can try to figure it all out yourself. I mean, you certainly could spend, hundreds of hours researching, although at this point, it's kind of getting to the development stage where it's far beyond that. Or you just invest yourself, which I think is the smartest option here. $497, all guaranteed. I'm sure you'll love it. And all you got to do is just apply yourself. When does the course begin? Andres, it starts immediately. You'll get access immediately to the course. You can go in right away. And on Friday, we've got our next live event. We do our next Q&A. Is this access for business partner too? You got it, Blair. Not only will I give you, if you want to bring your business partners, bring them on your own ticket. Just let our team know when you get registered. You're bringing a business partner. You're bringing you can bring a spouse. You can bring a teen, all along totally for free. They just write on your ticket. And by the way, I'll do something else really exciting for you, which is why I said I hope you're getting your registration done now with these links. Please do that right now before I'm about to say the next thing, because what I say next, it usually just has this thing get sold out fast. And the cart will shut down at 50 students. So here's what I'm going to do. When you get enrolled right now and today, okay, right now, we will allow you to come back to any sprint in the future that we do so that you're always getting updated information, because we're constantly evolving this, because the tools that are coming out are constantly evolving. So we'll make sure that you come back for free to any additional sprint in the future. You can come to our masterminds. Anything you buy in here, today's package, is yours to come back to for free in the future, no additional cost. Elena says, can you talk more about the Facebook group with the researchers? Yes, Elena, when you post a question on the Facebook group, we have 7 researchers that monitor that Facebook group, and they answer anything of your questions about the AI tools, how they work, what to be using, how to integrate them into your workflow. They're researching them for us and feeding us all this information on top of our own research and things. And they are there available 24/7 to answer your questions. They normally respond in hours to anything that you have. Want to understand how to integrate into your workflow? They're there. This group alone, which cost me $100,000 to run for the year, a little over about 120. They're our research team, and they become yours during I think if you want us to research something, you interact with them through the Facebook forum, but they're on there like 24/7. Okay, there you have it. I think the choice is obvious. Get your seat. It's so no-brainer, and it's totally guaranteed. If for any reason you're not satisfied or you are not, you got to just go through it and apply. Just make sure you go through and apply it. You do that, you are going to be blown away. Okay, $497, limit 50. Please do yourself a favor. Get in there before Ron starts sending about the replay. And look, this is great for you, even if you have no business. If you're an affiliate marketer, if you're looking to just make money with AI, but you don't want to have a whole business. Our students range from starters to scalers. It is just, you just need to essentially be ready to make a 6, 7, or 8 figure a year business. That's it. As long as you're ready for that, we're ready to rock. Okay. Yeah, Blair says it's hard. Yeah, don't try to explain everything to your business partner, Blair. Just invite them. Okay, $497. Last options here. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to stop talking for 2 minutes. While you go get your seat, click on that link now. Open it up. Go get your seat now. And I'm going to come back in 2 minutes and answer any additional questions. I'll play a few videos of our students, but go do that now while I'm playing you these videos, and I'll come back and answer any questions in 2 minutes for you. Okay.
Hey, I'm Kate Seagray.
And I'm Jeff Slater.
And this is Elijah. And I want to share with you today how much of a positive impact Kane and Alessia Minkus have had on our businesses and us with their influence around AI. Now, we all know if you want to be successful, find out where the world is going and get there first. Well, they've helped us get there first. And the tangible results that we've seen in our businesses and our clients, I personally run an agency that helps people monetize social media. Now, just simple things like we're now able to get 30 days worth of content done in 1 hour, which, as we all know, time is the most precious resource. We're able to buy back so much time within our agency and also so much time within our clients' businesses. So the flow-on effect is huge. Not only that, they've taught me to use and leverage AI in areas where once I'd need to build out a team. For example, we have an AI appointment setter that can actually appointment set where once we would have needed to hire more humans or run more ads, but because of their influence, we've been able to streamline and be super efficient, which has led to buying back time and increased revenue.
And I'll talk about it from an executive coaching perspective. So in the hour or two I spend with a client online on a Zoom, with the power of AI, it superpowers things where generally I'm able to get done with that client and doing competitive analysis, which sometimes takes months, and do comparables and be able to come up with clear, deliverable, specific actions from that concept and be able to gather a lot of data, put it all together and synthesize it in a way which saves so much time.
Hi, I'm Adriana Vela. I attended the AI Assisted Entrepreneur Program from Kane and Alessia, and I have to say that it was the bomb. Not only do they cover the entire gamut A to Z on how to use it to accelerate your business, but they also cover how to use it ethically and responsibly, and that's important to me. Plus, they make it so much fun. So if you want to improve your confidence, if you want to accelerate your business and avoid burnout, this is the class that you really need to take.
All right, cool. Let me answer a couple questions here and then we'll wrap up. Ruben asks, is this training for someone who doesn't have a biz and doesn't know what to do? Can you learn to use AI, the training, and to build a biz and be successful? You absolutely can. And AI tools, first of all, they help in all sorts of different areas because it's not even just business. We tend to focus on business, but you'll learn how to use these tools in all different areas of your life, from planning to money and finances to planning your trips and having things booked for you. So you'll get a lot of great value out of that, even just from a personal side. But also, if you wanted to help discover what do you want to do next in your business or making money, you can also learn how to use these tools to simply just make money with them. And that's pretty common as well. Okay, well, it looks like we've answered all the questions. I'm going to drop this link in one last time here, and we'll wrap up. So I hope you guys got a lot of great value out of this. Tell me if you got a lot of great value. Just put a yes in the chat window, and I hope that you take the time to go get your seat right now. I can see many of you have already secured your seat, so I look forward to working with you. You will be getting a link right away for the mentoring sites where you can go right in there. You can start getting all the training. You can start going through Sprint 3.0. Know that you're dropping into Sprint 4.0. So you're going to start right into the beginning. We just started Sprint 4.0 about 2 weeks ago, not even about a week ago. So you'll be coming into our Q&A session. You'll be coming in, not in the middle, just at the beginning, but we've started it. But you've got everything recorded. Everything is there for you. So when you get access to the Facebook site, go on and watch the onboarding videos. It'll explain everything about how to come into this program and how to just crush it. You'll get access to the prompt platform and everything I'm talking about. It'll all be rolling in emails as soon as you do that. Yakov says, are most AI tools free to use? Great question, Yakov. So you do not need any budget to use these tools. About 99% of them have free layers that you can do cool stuff with. There's a couple that we show, like Jasper doesn't have a free layer, for example, I'm thinking about, but they are a little bit limited. And so what we suggest you do is you use these tools on the free versions until you're clear that they're going to make a difference for your business. And then you can pay for the paid versions and you can go from there. Okay, so there you have it. Great value. Thank you very much. What additional costs? What if you don't have Facebook, Randy? Randy, I would recommend that you just set up a little if you have Facebook, you could even set up in a fake name. We don't care. But that way you can let our team know who you are. You can go on there and get your Facebook. You don't need to have a big Facebook thing. You just need to be on the platform because it's a great platform for discussion, for forums, for showing all of our content and everything. But everything's also on the member site. You don't have to have Facebook. You just won't be able to engage in the forum if you don't have it. Yago says, is there any additional cost? There's no additional cost. You're not required to spend any more money on anything. Even the AI tools, everything you can access pretty much for free to be able to do all that stuff. So no additions. All right.
Hey Kane, I just wanted to jump back in and thank you for an amazing presentation. A lot of light bulb moments, took a lot of notes. I'm sure everyone here appreciated that as well. Give Kane a thank you in the comments if he did a great job and if you learned something new that you're going to apply to your business here. Give him a thank you there because, it's an honor to have you on. You're such an esteemed guest, and we don't always have people like you come on. So I just want to come in, say thank you. And guys, if you are interested in AI at all, you know, if you want to take your business to the next level, be on the cutting edge, learn about this stuff on the ground floor so that you know you're able to apply it in the future, then this is the sprint you want to be part of. It's only $500. He gave you guys a discount. I was surprised. I thought he was going to charge $2,000 for this at least, but $500, drop in a bucket. It's a no-brainer. I think you guys should definitely jump in and grab it. So I just wanted to say that. You guys are in good hands with Kane. He's like one of the top guys in the industry. Everyone knows and trusts him. He's definitely a good guy. Him and his wife, they're going to take care of you. So thank you for that. And I'll let it go back to you, but I just wanted to jump in and say that.
No, I appreciate that very much. Yeah, I appreciate that. And yeah, we do take care of our students. We have an incredible experiences with them. Our team is ready to serve you basically and just kind of pour our wealth and wisdom. And you'll meet other researchers that teach and train with me. We've got a data scientist from Geneva, Switzerland that co-teaches some of the stuff with me on the AI experience. So there's just a lot of good stuff coming your way. Jump in. If you have any questions, let us know right now so we can make sure you feel comfortable and grounded. If not, go for it. We don't actually do any payment plans on this just because it's on our side, it's a very small investment in it. So we don't do any payment plans on that for some of you that are asking about that. Can we hold a spot while I get a credit card clearance? So Richard, if you write, here's what to do. If you want to use PayPal or any other payment form, please write our client service team at rockstarservice@industryrockstar.com. I'm dropping that email into the chat window here. rockstarservice@industryrockstar.com. Okay, and that will give, if you need to ask them about anything or if you want to ask them to save you a spot, do that right away so that they know, because typically this gets closed off pretty fast. So they know Ron will send out the replay, and that will typically just jump through the rest of the seats. Okay, let's see. I think that's it. What additional costs will there be, Jakob? There's no additional costs, Jakob. There's no additional costs, so don't worry. We don't do any upsells in this program as well. By the way, this is not like he's just going to sell us a bunch of stuff. There's no upsells in this program. It's full education. So you don't have to worry about that either. In the 12-week sprint, we do not do any upsells at all, nothing. So just know that it's not a big sales fest either. It's just come in and learn, and let's keep working together. Because we have this philosophy that if we love working together, we'll keep working together. You'll want to get into other programs and things. Okay. All right. See you there. Lots of love. Thank you so much again, Ron. Appreciate you very much, and I appreciate this opportunity. It's always a pleasure to be speaking to new clients and new students and new people. So thank you. If you haven't taken that leap yet, now's the end. Go do it right now, and I'll see you guys in the sprint. Bye.